beautiful skyline of New York, New York, one of Las Vegas's most beautiful casino resorts. We get set for Game 4 of the 1999 AAA World Series. The Charlotte Knights, champions of the International League, will take on the Vancouver Canadiens, champions of the Pacific Coast League. Let's recap the series so far. All three games have been close. Charlotte won Game 1 6-5 in come-from-behind fashion. Game 2 went to Vancouver 5-4. Strong pitching performance by Kevin Jarvis in the win. Game 3 goes to Charlotte 4-2. 19-year-old right-hander John Garland picked up the win on the mound. Good evening once again, and welcome to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We get set for Game 4 of the 1999 AAA World Series, along with Dave Campbell. I'm Ted DeLuca, and Dave, we saw Charlotte come from behind twice in this series on the strength of the long ball.
Yeah, they were very good with the long ball and hitting all during the season this year. But last night they hit 3 home runs. Jeff Leeper, who has 5 RBIs to lead the series, drilled one to right. Jeff Abbott got their club even with this home run, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning off Barry Zito. That went off to the Las Vegas Knight, and then their big guy, Luis Raven, finally hit one in the series. That provided them with their final run and led to a 4-2 victory. You see, during the regular season, second only to Durham in hitting in the International League. They finished 6th in homers. They're hitting .284, have 4 home runs to Vancouver's 1 in the World Series.
Knights hitting coach Gary Ward has done a great job with his club. It's up to Vancouver right-hander Kevin Gregg to try to keep the Charlotte Knights in check tonight in Las Vegas. The first pitch after this.
ESPN's presentation of the AAA World Series is brought to you by Las Vegas, home to some of the world's most prestigious events, and proud to sponsor the Las Vegas AAA World Series. By the Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES, a proud sponsor of AAA Baseball and the Las Vegas AAA World Series. And by Fran Extra Guard, the only filter with a rough textured super grip top. It makes changing your filter a lot easier.
Luck to be a lady tonight. The Dancing Waters outside Bellagio here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 4 on the way. The Charlotte Knights and Vancouver Canadiens. The third member of our broadcast crew all week long. The voice of the Las Vegas Stars, John Sandler, outside the Charlotte dugout. Downstairs to John.
Thank you very much, Ted. I'm with Charlotte hitting coach Gary Ward. Gary, pitching kind of dominating the series a little bit, although your club broke out with 3 home runs last night. Are you surprised that the games have been relatively low scoring in a hitter's ballpark?
No, it's not a surprise. You know, at this time of the year, starting from spring training up until now, you do a lot of early work as far as hitting go. You take a lot of batting practice, so the guys could be a little fatigued right now, and you need those 1 or 2 guys to keep the team going like we did last night.
All righty, well, we'll see how they do tonight. Vancouver with its backs against the wall. You guys with a chance to win it all. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
Back upstairs, Ted and Dave.
John, thanks. Gary Ward has done a great job with the Charlotte Knights ball club, and here is tonight's starting lineup put together by manager Tom Spencer. Mitch Simons leads off at second base. Hitting second, third baseman Dave Hollins, the veteran. Charlotte's record with Hollins, 48-33, 15 games above the 500 mark. Jeff Abbott hits third. He's in center field. Batting cleanup, DH Luis Raven. Hitting fifth at first base, Jeff Leifert. Batting sixth in right field, Chad Mottola, former #1 pick of the Cincinnati Reds. Hitting seventh in left field, the versatile Tilson Brito. Batting eighth and catching, David Hoth. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Esteban Beltre. On the hill for the Vancouver Canadiens, Dave. Big start for right-hander Kevin Gregg.
Just 21 years old. We've had a lot of young pitchers in this series. Mulder, Zito, a couple of guys. 19-year-old John Garland last night, and 21-year-old Kevin Gregg. 6'6", 215 pounds. You see his regular season mark. That's in AAA. He also pitched in Class A Visalia and in AA at Midland, Texas. So he has gone up 2 rungs of the ladder. He needs to go 1 more to complete the duo to get to the big leagues. So Kevin Gregg is on the mound for the Vancouver Canadiens tonight. Playing behind him, a couple of changes. We have Mario Encarnacion out in right field, and Roberto Vaz stays in left. Terrence Long, he has looked good in this series, tracked down a long fly ball last night. Adam Pyatt, Jose Ortiz, Joey Espada, and Jeff Ball. Danny Ardois, the catcher. And Joey Espada has been the defensive star of this series so far. He was called up on August the 9th, really only had 26 at-bats, but he has played brilliantly on the defensive side for the Vancouver Canadiens so far in this series.
We talk about championship teams having great defense up the middle. That's true for the Vancouver Canadiens, 84-58 during the regular campaign. Pacific Coast League champions, and Dave behind the plate with Artois. The double play combination of Ortiz at short, Espada at second, Terrence Long in center field. Outstanding defense up the middle.
It really has been, and again, Espada was just called up. Ortiz, pretty much the regular. Long was a late season addition in a trade with the New York Mets. Kenny Rogers coming over to New York. Artois has been there all year. He divided some time with Ramon Hernandez and A.J. Hinch, a couple of Oakland catchers who were down in Vancouver part of the year this year.
Mitch Simons has hit well in postseason play for the Knights, .346, but he struggled in this series, just 1 for 13. Has a wide open stance from the right side. Had a 16-game hit streak during the regular season.
Greg goes with a sinking fastball, a slider, and a changeup. So the youngster trying to make an impression tonight.
6'6", 215 pounds. 2-1 to Mitch Simons.
One of the things I've really liked out of the young pitchers so far in this series, even though they all haven't been performing brilliantly, is their nice, easy deliveries.
Early chance for the third baseman Pyatt under his glove, out to short to Ortiz, and no play. Simons is given an infield single on that.
You know, Pyatt stands about 6'4". It looks like he just didn't quite get down low enough. That ball ricocheted off his glove, and by the time Ortiz got it, no chance to get Simons, so Simon gets his second hit of the series.
Pyatt in on the grass. Had a little less time to react to that hot smash, so Simons has a leadoff single. Dave Holland stands in, the switch hitter, batting from the left side against right-hander Kevin Gregg. Hollins has been a great addition to the Charlotte Knights ball club. He joined the team on July 1st, a real stabilizing force in that clubhouse.
Well, last year in the World Series, we saw some great veterans, Casey Candell, Jeff Manto, Torrey Lavulo. This year, it's been Hollins, Luis Raven for Charlotte. Guys all trying to get another shot at the big show, and the way they do it is by trying to impress the scouts in attendance tonight and watching on television.
Hollins has had a strong series, hitting .340 in the postseason for the Knights. High jack, deep to right field. And this one is long gone out of Cashman. A quick 2-0 lead for the Charlotte Knights.
Well, it was advertised as the power of the Charlotte Knights against the pitching and defense of Vancouver. Each of the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hitters now for Charlotte have hit a home run in the series. That was a bomb, a no-doubter by Dave Hollins. He's a fastball hitter. He got one in the sweet zone and hit it on the sweet spot. And not much movement out in the outfield. Encarnacion takes a couple of steps, but that went off into the night.
Took a while to come down. That ball tagged out to right field. This one ticketed for center field. Ortiz gets a glove on it, and he can't make the play. Infield single for Jeff Abbott. 3 hits for the Charlotte Knights to begin the ball game.
Well, Abbott's had a good series. He is 5 for 12 now. He's also been their leading RBI man in postseason with 15 in the 3 series, including the AAA World Series.
Ortiz with tremendous range to his left. Couldn't make the play, though. Big Luis Raven will step in. Led the International League with 33 home runs during the regular season. Second with 125 runs batted in. Hit his first World Series home run here last night.
Well, right now, somebody's got to make a play for the youngster. He's had a couple of balls. The plays could have been made. They would have been good plays, not spectacular. The official scorer gave him both base hits, but you got to start catching some of those balls for the young pitcher.
Big cut by Raven. That evens the count. The ball and a strike. He's a very dangerous hitter. Big, strong guy. 6'4", 230 pounds, native of Venezuela. 30 years old. He's been around.
Now, we mentioned he had a great year in Birmingham in Double-A back in '97, but he opted to play in Asia. He played in China last year.
Raven with a stroke to left center field. Nice running grab to his left. The left fielder, Roberto Vaz, hauls it in. One away.
Well, Greg's just got to settle down, locate his pitches a little better. He's throwing everything belt high. And, you know, good hitters are going to tattoo those pitches. You see that ball is right up in the zone. He's pretty fortunate that Raven hit that out towards the end of the bat, because that was in the sweet zone as well.
We saw that last night with young left-hander Barry Zito. When he started to get the ball up in the zone, he got into big trouble as well. Lee for a ground ball to the second baseman, Espada. And Vancouver gets one at second. Leaper on the fielder's choice, 2 men down.
Talking to some of the pitchers who have thrown in the series, they say it's taken them a little while to adjust to the mound. It has a pretty steep slope, a little bit different than the bullpen mound. You come out and make those 8 warm-up tosses, but it's taken a little while for the pitchers to get into rhythm.
Greg trying to settle down here in the top of the first inning. 2 runs are home on Dave Holland's bomb to right field earlier in the inning. Big Chad Mottola steps in. First pitch strike for Greg.
But that slider located well. He needs to get the off-speed pitch over. 86 miles an hour on the slider. He's 90, 91, 92 on the fastball.
Mottola 6 for 11 in this series. Former #1 pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in the '92 draft.
That's the 2-seam fastball, the sinker, that comes in on the right-handed batter. He'll also throw the 4-seamer, the riser, if you have.
Just off the corner. 2-1 to Mottola. He attended a Reds game at Riverfront Stadium when he was 7 years old. He's been a Cincinnati fan all his life. Still has a Johnny Bench poster on his wall at his parents' home. Flared foul off to the right. 2-2 to Chad Mottola.
One of the things that, and we've mentioned this before this series, but Mottola has been a guy that has been kind of a slow developer, but every time he plays in a league the 2nd or 3rd year, he gets better and then overmatches the league. He's hoping to get to the next level, catch up and match that league.
All he's done this season for the Knights has hit. This one drops in. Misplayed by Encarnacion. Espada drops it. Mottola in at second, and Leaper stops at third. So 2 men in scoring position for the Knights with 2 down.
Well, in game 1, Vancouver was hooked with 4 errors, and they also bobbled 2 other balls. This one, kind of a comedy of errors. I think if Leaper would have been running hard all the way, he might have been able to score. Encarnacion kind of just nonchalants it, looks up too soon, the ball goes past him. And then when he threw it back into Joey Espada, Espada dropped it. So, I mean, if Leaper had been running hard, going all the way to third base, Tom Spencer might have been able to send him. A lot of times, runners who understand the game, if they know they're going to make third base, and Leaper did know he was going to make it on that single to right, you run like you're going to try to go to home and let the third base coach hold you up. Right now, Bill King, we saw last night, is starting to throw in the Vancouver bullpen. And he came in the 8th inning last night, and Pete Rickard, the pitching coach, is kind of talking to Jarvis, or to Kevin Gregg, and just telling the youngster, you got to get the ball down, and we got to get out of this inning. We don't want to be looking down the barrel of a 4-run deficit before we hit.
No tomorrow for the Vancouver Canadiens.
Backs are against the wall.
They have got to win tonight. It's a must-win situation.
We got any more?
Game 4 of this best-of-5 series, and the Knights have a commanding 2-1 lead. Way inside to Tilson Brito. If Gregg continues to struggle, no doubt a quick hook would be forthcoming from Mike Waddy and pitching coach Pete Rickard.
Nice smothered job by Danny Ardois. He's been very impressive behind the plate in this series. I like the way he handles his staff. He's technically sound, blocking pitches, and he's got a terrific throwing arm.
Saved a run there. Brito, 8th in the league in batting at .318 during the International League regular campaign. Fouls that one away, 2-1.
Good pitch selection there, too, because right now, Gregg's fastball not overpowering anybody, so Ardois called for a slider on a fastball count.
Base hit by Tilson Brito, former major leaguer with the Oakland A's and Toronto Blue Jays would make it a 4-0 game. He was right on that, but he fouled it back.
That's usually a pretty good pattern. 2 balls, no strike, breaking ball. And you get the hitter thinking, I wonder what he's going to throw now, and then crowd him with a fastball. Brito went chasing upstairs.
Leifert third. Mottola leads from second. Brito pops it up. First baseman Jeff Ball will squeeze it for out number 3. And fortunately for Kevin Gregg, he gives up just the 2-run jack to right off the bat of Dave Hollins in the top of the first in Las Vegas.
2-0 in favor of Charlotte as we head to the bottom of the first inning. The man responsible for getting those runs back for Vancouver, their hitting coach, longtime New York Yankee great Roy White, our guest. Roy, club offensively not that healthy. I had a bad leg. Jeff Ball, a bad wrist, and you come in not the best hitting club in the league, and then you got the injuries to deal with as well.
Right, that's been tough for us. Jeff Ball has played with a bad wrist for the last month, really. So he's really kind of swinging with one hand, and has still done a pretty good job with the bat for us. Adam Pyatt was a guy we got up from Double-A, and unfortunately was injured in our playoff with Salt Lake, and just now got back and is kind of struggling to find his timing.
We'll see if they can get it done back upstairs. Thanks.
John, thanks. Vancouver tonight. Espada, Vaz, Ortiz, Long, Ball, Hyatt, Encarnacion. Martin's the DH, and in this series, Vancouver's DHs, 2 for 11, couple of ribbies. Danny Ardois behind the plate, batting 9. On the hill for the Charlotte Knights, right-hander Jason Sakota.
So Sakota, fastball, breaking ball, and his go-to pitch is a splitter. You see he loads up the split before he goes into his glove, then he may change. Not overpowering at all. Only 1 strikeout in 11 postseason innings, but he's kind of a finesser and has to hit his spots.
He starts off Espada 0-2.
So far, so good. He's been on the edge twice. They tell us Sakota's back's been a little stiff this week, but if the first 2 pitches are any indication, he appears to be fine right now.
Espada granted time at the plate by the home plate umpire Tim Timmons of the International League. 2 postseason starts for Sakota, 2-0, a 3.18 ERA. Catcher David Toth couldn't hang on to the foul tip, tough chance, so Espada stays alive, 0-2. 1 for 10 in the series, 4 walks though, so he's been aboard a number of times and has scored 3 runs. He also has a steal. Fastball just misses, 1-2.
Well, let's take a look at Sakota. He goes to the split grip ahead of time because he doesn't want to dig into his glove for it, but he can change back easier to a fastball than have the fastball grip and change to the split. That time he stayed with the split, but he's going to show that same grip to the hitter every pitch. And when he pulls the glove back or puts his hand in his glove, he can change to the fastball or curveball grip. Some guys, when they throw that splitter, they stand with a fastball grip, and then you can actually see the pitcher digging into his glove. You can see some movement on the glove, and then you can almost tell a split's coming. He does it just the opposite.
It's a good strategy. Espada with a little flare, shallow center, and drops in for a hit. Right into no man's land. Loop single for Joey Espada.
Well, not pretty, but Espada battled, and the lead batter is on for the Vancouver Canadiens. Taking a look at the defense, playing behind Mr. Sakota tonight. Brito, Abbott, and Mottola, that's been the outfields throughout the series. Hollins, Beltre, Simons, and Leifert. Toth has alternated with Eric Christopherson. Mitch Simons, a good play at second last night. He's been very steady. He hasn't been as spectacular as Espada, but he's been a steadying influence on the infield.
Still looking to make his major league debut, Mitch Simons. Roberto Vaz has the only home run of this series for Vancouver. That ball was a shot out to right center field.
Yeah, he crushed a high changeup in game 1.
Tanyan Sturts might still be thinking about that one.
Well, Sakota's really been hitting good spots. He probably deserved a little better fate, but Espada was able to reach out and just poke a little looper into center, but he's made excellent pitches in the early going here.
Vaz 2 for 11 in the series, 2 extra base hits, a double, and that home run under the glove of the first baseman Leifert out into right. On his way to third, Joey Espada. He dives in safely. Men at the corners for Vancouver. Nobody out. Home half of the first as they try to get back into the ball game.
Well, the Canadiens doing the Roberta Flack offense, killing them softly. That was a little weak grounder that Leifer didn't get off the base very well on. So a bloop and a little bleeder through the right side. But looked like a couple of line drives in the scorebook. And the Canadiens with a chance to come right back here in the first inning.
Good base running by Espada. Diving in the third, Jose Ortiz hitting third tonight. Mike Quade juggling his lineup before this evening's must-win situation, Dave, in Game 4.
Well, his club hasn't really been hitting, so he has benched a couple of guys that have been big parts of the year, Mike Neal and Chris Schuff. But in postseason, Neal only hitting 167 and Schuff 143. So Quade trying to generate a little offense, switch things up.
Vancouver 2 for 2 so far tonight. A couple of singles get the ball game underway. Going away to Ortiz. Slider misses, 1-1.
Well, you can see that spacious center field here at Cashman Field. 433 to straightaway center with a 20-foot high wall.
Vancouver as a team came into this evening hitting 248 in the series. Runner takes off. Toth a low throw and a stolen base for Vaz. 2 men in scoring position for Vancouver.
Well, the Canadiens looked like they were mailing it in the first inning. They didn't play very well on the defensive side of the ball, but they've come back with a little zip in the offense here in the bottom half. Vaz getting a good jump. Toth, I don't think, got a very good grip on the baseball. He never really got much on the throw to second base.
Vaz has that Tony Gwynn body going. 3-1 to Jose Ortiz. Sakota missing upstairs. Jason Sakota, 6'1", 195 pounds, 25 years old, from Garden Grove, California. He's in a bind here in the home half of the first, trying to protect a 2-0 lead. Sakota attended Cal State Los Angeles. Second team all-conference choice, first team GTE academic All-American. He misses outside with ball 4, and the sacks are jammed with nobody out.
No, that's really Sakota's first mistake in the inning. The other two were just well-placed little hits, but walking a man, loading the bases for Terrence Long, not a good idea. Right now, the Charlotte Knights would be thrilled to trade a double play for a run. They'll play double play depth.
Terrence Long, former Met prospect, who arrived in the Oakland organization in the Kenny Rogers deal. 4 for 11 in the series. He's knocked in 4 runs. Sakota's got to throw strikes here. No place to put Terrence Long. A triple and 2 sacrifice flies in the series. 2-0.
Trying to get Long to nibble, and Terrence waiting on the ball pretty well, having a good look.
Long spins this one foul up into the seats, third base side.
Now you see the Charlotte bullpen is already in action. Neither manager going to wait around too long for the starters tonight. This was an evening that probably figured if it was going to be one high-scoring game, you have the number 4 pitchers on each staff, and in some respects, really number 5 with Kevin Gregg going because of the call-up of Brett Laxton. So Jeff Ball, who's had a good series, stands on deck.
2-1 to Long. That double play ball, Simons boots it. The throw to first is in time, but a run comes home. And Charlotte fails to turn 2. 1 away in the inning. Espada scores to make it 2-1.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Both pitchers deserve a lot better than they're getting right now. I mean, Sakota's given up 2 bloops through a double play ball, and all he's got to show for it is 1 run in, 1 out, and 2 more guys in scoring position. It has not been well played defensively in the early going tonight. That one ran right up the arm of Mitch Simon, and he just barely got Terrence Long at first base.
Jeff Ball steps in, nursing that bad wrist, as Roy White, Vancouver hitting coach, told John Sandler before the inning began. Good stop by Toth. 2 runners in scoring position for Ball. 5 for 13 in the series. A couple of runs scored, a triple and a ribby.
Ball in the first series of the playoffs against Salt Lake City, best 3 out of 5. He was the hitting star, hit .615 in that series.
2 men in scoring position for him here with 1 down. Gets around on that swing a little bit late. Might be an effect of the wrist. 1-1.
Yeah, and Secoda's got to go to his fastball a little more. He's not overpowering, but he can't just keep throwing split finger pitch after split finger pitch, because all of a sudden, after the Vancouver hitters sitting on the bench saw that about 7 or 8 pitches, they started laying off it. He's got to mix the fastball in to keep the hitters honest.
And if you throw a splitter that doesn't dive, Ball could hit it a long way. Right back of the screen, 1-2.
Ball a little upset with himself, thought he should have gotten that pitch, but Secota got the fastball in on him. You can throw enough fastballs to establish that that's going to get the hitter to, hurry his bat up a little bit, and then that splitter is going to be a lot more effective. But if the hitter goes up there thinking split finger pitch, he's going to wait a lot longer.
Ball split last season in the San Francisco Giants organization. AAA Fresno and the Giants. 2-2. Spas dances from third. Ortiz at second.
Secota at the point now, even though we mentioned he's only had 1 strikeout in 11+ innings of postseason, he'd really like to get one here. That would give him a chance to get out of the inning with the lead.
Toth must block that plate as Secota favors the splitter. Runner on third, Vaz. Ball just gets a piece to stay alive.
Yeah, good pitch and good piece of hitting right there. That was an excellent pitch by Secota, and Ball just got a piece to stay alive. And we often tell you that the difference between a guy that hits .230 and a guy that hits .310 is the ability to foul off the tough pitches and then get one he can handle.
Secota's thrown his share of pitches here in the bottom of the first already. 1 away, a run is home. 2 men in scoring position for Jeff Ball. Tap out to right. RBI hit. Vaz comes in. Ortiz coming around. Here's the throw. Not in time. Ball takes second. A 2-run single. Vancouver with a 3-2 lead.
Well, once again, not hit well, but in the right spot. Jason Secota must feel like he's had some snake bite tonight, because the hardest hit ball in the inning was the ball that Terrence Long hit that should have been a double play. And nothing has gone right for Secota so far. Ball, you can see, got fisted, hit a little looper into right field, and then Matola compounded it by throwing it over the cutoff man's head, and Ball went down to second base. He had no shot at Ortiz at the plate. So they let the ball go through, and Ball danced on down to second.
Heads up base running by the veteran Jeff Ball. Takes second on the throw. Now he's in scoring position after his 2-run single, giving Vancouver a 3-2 lead. This has looks a wild one, Dave.
Well, again, if you've got that ability, we saw Ball foul that tough pitch off, and then he was able to inside out a fastball in on the hands, protecting the plate. And he gets himself a hit. That's why he hit over 300 this year.
Here's Adam Pyatt, Texas League Triple Crown winner this season at AA Midland. Fooled by a breaking pitch. With Midland, the MVP of the AA Texas League, Pyatt hit .345, 39 homers, 135 runs batted in. First Triple Crown winner in that league in 72 years. Del Pratt, the last one to do it.
Can't tell you how many hitters Secota has gone 0-2 on, but he hasn't been able to put anybody away. They've been able to make contact, and every time they've made contact, something as good has happened for their team.
Secota trying to punch out Pyatt. Good-looking pitch, but it just missed. Ball and 2 strikes.
Better take a second look at Jeff Ball, because he's been dancing at second trying to get a jump.
Will Sakota go with the splitter or change the grip in his glove? Hyatt goes down swinging. That did look like the splitter that time.
It's kind of tough when your defense isn't playing behind you and people are looping hits in and you're not a strikeout pitcher. Makes it a little bit rough, but he makes an excellent pitch. Drops the split finger pitch on Pyatt. Being a splitter sinker type pitcher on a rock hard infield is not a real great formula for success.
Mario Encarnacion, 1 for 4 in game 2. The only at bats of the series for Encarnacion, the 7th hitter of the inning. Native of Bani in the Dominican Republic. Good slider. 1-1.
Is that in My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean? How do you spell that?
B-A-N-I.
Okay.
Out of the DR. And you know what? It's his 22nd birthday. Happy birthday, Mario Encarnacion, the birthday boy, trying to get that run home from second. Tough time, though, 1-2.
Well, you know this pitch is going to miss, because that would make 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a man on second on his 22nd birthday.
Will you sign this card for Mario? You mind? One and 2 to Encarnacion. He's got to protect now. Inside, 2-2.
So if you believe in numbers, on his 22nd birthday with a 2-2 count, 2 out, and a man on second, something good ought to happen for Mario here. I know one thing, 22's not real good in this town.
No, we know that firsthand.
22. Sorry, you lose.
Encarnacion fights it off. Need for a good effort.
It's okay when the dealer gets 22.
We'll take that every time. 16 is dicey. 16 is a judgment call. Ball at second after his 2-run single made it a 3-2 Vancouver lead. A lot of action in the first inning tonight. Game 4 of the 1999 AAA World Series here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Encarnacion whacks it a long way. Out to left. It is off the top of the wall. Ball comes around to score easily. Stopping at second, the birthday boy, Mario Encarnacion. It's 4-2 Vancouver.
Guess it would figure that he could get a double.
2-bagger on his 22nd birthday.
Well, again, it was a matter of Sakota going 0-2 on a hitter, and Encarnacion battling, finally getting a mistake and hitting it high off the fence. So for Sakota, he certainly deserves better fate, but I also know he's on a very thin leash right now. If Martins gets a hit, I think we may see Heathcott out of the bullpen.
The 8th batter of the inning, Eric Martins, his first at bat of the series, the DH for Vancouver this evening. 4 hits aside in the first inning. 4-2 Vancouver lead.
Well, you think back to the top of the first inning, Charlotte really had a chance to do some big-time damage. I thought some bad base running by Leifert cost him a run. And then Greg was able to settle down and get the next out.
Martins whacks it out to left center field. It'll get down for a hit. Encarnacion good wheels, scoring 5-2 Canadiens. The PCL champs build a 3-run edge here in the first.
I think that thin leash just snapped. Out comes the manager, Tom Spencer, and we're going to have a pitching change. So a couple of pitches left up in the zone, and the Vancouver hitters did not miss them.
So we'll see just how deep the Charlotte Knights bullpen is. As the night is done for Jason Sakota, he can't get out of the bottom of the first inning. The PCL champions have the early lead. Game 4 of the series in Las Vegas.
favor of Vancouver in the bottom of the first. Interesting thing, something minor league players don't get to do very often, and that is watch the movement of the pitches on a monitor in the dugout. We've got a monitor down here in the first base dugout. There's one in the third base dugout. And when each team is hitting, they're getting a chance to look at the movement of the pitches. Hasn't mattered that much the last couple of nights, but with Sakota and all the movement on his pitches, it's mattered. It's helped them back upstairs.
I just wonder if they're watching the catcher's signals and relaying the signals to the hitters.
I hope not, Dave.
Little Cleveland gate that took place about a week and a half ago. Jimmy Williams, the Red Sox manager, went out and protested that there was a monitor in the Cleveland dugout and they had a camera out in center field. That was shut down, covered up, and when the Yankees came in, they insisted it be shut down as well.
Ground ball to short. Beltre with the flip, and that ends the inning. It's only cheating if you get caught. We go to the second in Las Vegas, 5-2 seed. Freshman Field in Las Vegas tonight. Where have you been? 7 runs scored already. Vancouver with the lead. Tune in tomorrow night, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific for Game 5 of this AAA World Series. If necessary, Vancouver and Charlotte will battle in the series finale to decide the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series title. Game 5, if necessary, tomorrow, 12:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. If the series ends tonight, if the Knights come from behind to win, catch our World Series recap show at 2 a.m. Eastern here on the Deuce. David Toth leads off the second. Charlotte down 5-2.
Well, Greg got himself some run support. Last time he left the hill, he was down 2. He's up 3 now.
It's going to make life easier for him with that 3-run cushion to work with. Toth nearly went around, and he did. Punched out. Let's join John Sandler with Vancouver skipper Mike Quade.
Thanks, Ted. Mike, your club gave up 2 early. Weren't feeling real good about things. Got it back.
You talked to Roy right before the inning, so he did his job. And yeah, we shook things up a little bit, put the names in a hat, and the lineup change seemed to have helped. Anyway, we were off to a good start. We got to find a way to keep them at bay for the next 8 innings.
All righty, back upstairs.
A lot of offense in that Charlotte dugout. Beltre takes a strike on the outside corner. Looks like Greg has a little bit more confidence here, Dave.
Well, 3-run lead will do that for you. You can go after the hitters. You don't have to worry about a solo home run getting you.
How much does that change your strategy, honestly?
Oh, I think, again, we talked about both, most of the pitchers we've talked to have had a little trouble adjusting to the mound early on. Saw John Garland keep getting stronger and stronger last night. I thought Kevin Jarvis made a great adjustment the other night, so I think it might be that and a combination of nerves in the early going.
If you missed last night's ball game, 19-year-old John Garland got the win. Charlotte won the game 4-2. 7 2/3, 5 hits, 2 unearned runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Great job. Beltre waits on it. This one will get down. And it's passed long. All the way to the fence. Beltre still running. Still running. He stops at third. Well, Terrence Long should have made that play.
Well, we in the first game of the series was very sloppy defense, and I thought the defense on both sides picked up in the next 2 games, but it has not been good tonight. Both teams have kicked it around. Mitch Simon kicked a double play ball last inning, and that really hurt because they scored 3 runs with 2 outs in that inning. And right there, Terrence Long, not a very good effort, so see if Simons can atone for his little bobble. He didn't get charged with an error because he got 1 man, but it was a dead double play ball.
Simons singled and scored in the first. Long should make this play, and it is deep enough for a sacrifice fly. Beltre jogs home. We have a 5-3 ball game.
Well, as we said, coming in, if there was going to be a high-scoring game based on the pitching matchups tonight, it was going to be this evening. Remember that Gregg is out there because Brett Laxton was called up to the big leagues a couple of days ago. He was supposed to pitch Game 3. Instead, Barry Zito moved up to Game 3.
You don't want to hang a pitch to this guy. Dave Hollins with a 2-run bomb to right field in the first. His first home run of this series, 4th of postseason play. He's knocked in 9 runs for the Knights here in the postseason. That one bounces in 2-0. Dave, you think maybe the center fielders are having a tough time picking the ball up off the bat with the lights behind us here at Cashman Field? Remember, last night, Abbott and Brito overran a ball out to center field.
Yeah, but then again, we saw Terrence Long make a sensational play last night, going back on that ball Abbott hit. So, I don't know. Terrence kind of went after that ball, looked to me like a little nonchalantly.
Terrence Long out in center field for Vancouver. Came to the Oakland organization in the Kenny Rogers deal. Great pickup for the Mets. Hollins checked his swing successfully, according to the third base umpire. Craig Sanders from the PCL, 3-1. Charlotte chipping into the lead. Hollins walks on 5 pitches.
Good eye by Hollins. Good on-base percentage guy in his days with the Phillies. So here's Jeff Abbott, he of the sweet swing from the right side of the plate.
All he does is hit. Singled in the first.
Here we go, Jeff. Base hit.
He does have a beautiful stroke from the right side. He throws left-handed. It's a rarity.
Ricky Henderson comes to mind, a guy with the New York Mets. Boy, the Mets, 4 losses in a row. Reds win. The Mets are only 1 game up in the wild card now. Braves won again. They're 5 up in the East.
Tough sweep for the Mets down in Atlanta earlier this week.
Mets lose to Philadelphia. Cincinnati beats St. Louis. I think a couple of 1-run games tonight, and all of a sudden things are tightening up in the wild card in the National League.
2-1 to Jeff Abbott. He is 18 for 47 in the postseason, a cool .383. Sent down from the White Sox back on May 7th when Chicago called up Carlos Lee, who's having a great rookie season with the White Sox.
Saw something recently where they're going to try to get Carlos Lee to play some first base in winter ball. The White Sox have got a lot of outfielders. They've got Chris Singleton and Brian Simmons, Maglio Ordonez up there right now, Carlos Lee, and then guys like Jeff Abbott. Jeff Leefer is actually an outfielder at times, playing first base tonight.
They're loaded. Chicago could swing a deal with all those outfielders. Full count to Abbott.
Yeah, Frank Thomas would prefer to play in the DH role, so Paul Konerko got a lot of time at first base this year. Had a breakthrough year, then slowed down a little bit towards the end.
Thomas played for a while with that bad ankle. Really affected his power numbers this season. Runner takes off on the payoff pitch, and we'll do it again.
Abbott got himself on the leg with that one. So Jeff gimping around. Game 2, Abbott left the game. They said flu-like symptoms. They thought maybe it could have been allergies. This one bites the... that one looked like it might have hit him on the shin. Ow.
It is dry out here, except for Wednesday, of course. My day by the pool ruined by the first time it's rained here in Las Vegas in 7 years in the month of September.
Your day.
My day here. Abbott walks. Pushing Hollins to second. Back-to-back walks allowed by Kevin Gregg. You're in the top of the second, and you never want to do that.
Well, we'll keep an eye, and I did. Since I said it, I looked up, and there goes Bill King sprinting down to the bullpen for the second time in 2 innings. So 43 pitches for the youngster Kevin Gregg, and now he's got the big home run slugger, Luis Raven, at the plate.
He could give the Knights the lead with 1 swing. We talked about it all week. that he was due to do some damage, and he came through last night with a home run. Big, strong guy. Fouls this one straight back. Now, you didn't have to worry about the rain Wednesday. You were in Atlanta.
Oh, beautiful day in Atlanta.
Beautiful day down there for the Braves and Mets. I really cut into my pool time Wednesday with the rain coming down.
Yeah, you'd have fried yourself anyway.
I had my SPF 45. We don't get a whole lot of sun up in Syracuse. The reputation is true.
Get those lake effect clouds. Ravens down 0-2 in the count.
You've coined a new phrase. Lake effect clouds in the Q's. Well, you spent some time.
I did.
In the IL. And in Syracuse, of course, with the Chiefs. With your old buddy, Tex Simone.
Well, Tex was the trainer, and now he's the president of the club. Nice man.
Worked his way up the ladder.
So they played when they were the Chiefs. Now they're the Sky Chiefs.
Slight modification.
Played in Old MacArthur Stadium. What's the new part called?
PNC Stadium.
Okay.
Very nice. Come check it out when you have a chance. Stay with me.
Show me all the hot spots.
Yeah, it won't take very long, but I'll be more than happy to oblige.
You can go down to Buffalo and what's the Anchor, whatever where they supposedly invented the Buffalo Wings.
Buffalo Wings.
Meanwhile, back to the game.
We give a shout out to them if they're watching tonight on ESPN2 at the Anchor Bar. Out to right center. Long on the move. Nice grab. Terrence Long. And that ends the inning. Knights get one back, though. It's a 5-3 game. At a Game 4 of the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series, Charlotte, the champions of the International League, winners of the Governor's Cup, lead this best-of-5 series 2-1. The Vancouver Canadiens, champions of the Pacific Coast League. And now on the mound for Charlotte, getting set to begin his first full inning of work, right-hander Mike Heathcott. He stepped in the bottom of the first and got Danny Ardois to ground to short to end the threat. Vancouver put 5 on the board in the home half of the first.
Yeah, you just saw a shot of Kevin Gregg on the bench. I mean, I'm sure he's not too pleased with his outing, but he has stranded 4 runners in scoring position, getting big outs with guys standing out there at third and second.
Joey Espada leads off his second inning in a row. Canadians sent 9 to the plate in the first and 5 scored, including Espada, a single and a run in the first. Just his second hit of the series.
So there's Kevin Gregg. He knows that Bill King's been throwing behind him in the first 2 innings, but both times when King got up, he got key outs with runners at third and second.
Kevin's got to cheer up. He still has the lead.
I think the thing has probably been maddening to Kirk Champion and Tom Spencer, the manager of Vancouver. Their pitchers have done exactly what they should. That's get ahead 0-2, but they have not been able to put the Vancouver hitters away. They've been kind of chipping and pecking at the ball and finding holes.
Just missed the corner. 1-2 to Espada. Heathcott spent a good portion of the season in Charlotte's starting rotation. Espada has scored 4 runs in the series. Did he hold back? No. On ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:15 Eastern Time, check out the New York Giants taking on the New England Patriots. Drew Bledsoe and his boys take on the Chimps, and at 9 on ABC's Monday Night Football, Steve Young and the 49ers take on Jake Plummer and the Comeback Cardinals in the desert. It's a Week 3 doubleheader on ESPN and ABC. Huge NFL weekend ahead. Roberto Vaz singled, stole second, and scored in the first.
Well, Mike Heathcott's job is to come in and stop the Vancouver offense. He figures his club's going to get some more runs tonight, but he's got to stop the team dressed in red.
Little Nuke LaLoosh action.
Yeah, just outside. A little high.
Glad Homer, the Charlotte Knights mascot who made the trip out to Las Vegas, wasn't dancing nearby. Not much Toth could do about that one. Fortunately, nobody aboard. Good breaking ball on the outside corner.
Drop the hammer, throw the high gas, real high gas, and then drop the hook. This is a nice looking ballpark. I really enjoy this.
It's always fun to come out here. The folks on the LVCVA do a wonderful job of hosting this event.
As usual, they have a ton of events coming up. Vander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Caesar's Palace on November 13th. And then the Millennium coming. Whoa, is that going to be crazy here?
What are you going to be doing Valentine's Day 2000 Day?
Watching the ESPYs.
You won't be here to enjoy it at the MGM Grand?
Not unless somebody wants to pay my way.
Yes, more on that later. ESPY 2000. 2000 ESPY Awards in Las Vegas on Valentine's Day 2000.
Dick Vitale was out yesterday to help with that announcement. Andre Agassi, big press conference here.
Bottle cap kid, Roberto Vaz, fouls it back. Native of Brooklyn, learned to hit as his mom tossed him bottle caps. His task, to hit him with a broom handle. First time he tried, didn't do all that well. Then he pitched to mom. She went 10 for 10.
Pretty good. I know Kevin Mitchell used to hit a wiffle ball when he was growing up. Certainly gets you to keep your head on whatever object you're trying to hit, which is, you know, a big part of the game. Big part of the science of hitting is watching the baseball. You can't see it, you can't hit it.
Roberto Vaz, who looks a bit like Tony Gwynn in the plate. Tony Gwynn's mother pitched a wiffle ball to him to help him to learn to hit.
What a great family. I had a chance to meet his late father and his mom. Just he and Chris, a couple of terrific kids, but product of great parents.
That one gets away from Toth. Vaz hustling down the first base line, but not in time to beat it out. Heathcott has struck out a pair here in the bottom of the second.
Pretty good hook from Heathcott. Mike gave up a lot of hits this year to innings pitched, but he gets Vaz to chase that yacker in the dirt. Toth kind of lets it hit the heel of his glove, but keeps it close enough that he can pounce and throw him out. Toth, the guy that's been around a long time, 10 years. He's getting his degree in exercise science, University in Macon, Georgia.
Past the mound, out to short. Esteban Beltre flings on the run, and Mike Heathcott has set down all four Vancouver Canadiens he's faced. We'll go to the third in Las Vegas. 5-3 Vancouver. Greatest night in sports is coming to Las Vegas, the 2000 ESPY Awards. Monday, February 14th at the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino. ESPN will honor the best athletes of this past year and the premier performance of the decade. Tickets go on sale October 4th. To order, call the MGM Grand at 1-800-929-1111. We go downstairs. John Sandler has the mayor of Las Vegas. John.
It is an honor to introduce his honor, the mayor of Las Vegas, Oscar Goodman. The mayor of Las Vegas, what a job.
John, I'll tell you this. The two luckiest guys who ever lived in the history of the world are you and myself. I mean, you're doing exactly what you want to do, and I am the happiest mayor in the world, I swear to God.
I know you have a good time and you work hard. This is a fun event.
Oh, a fun event? This is the most serious business I've ever done in my life. I threw out the opening pitch, okay?
Did you get it to the plate?
On one bounce.
Had a baby.
Maybe had a baby. I worked on it for 3 months. That's the only reason I ran for this office, so I could throw the ball out tonight. On one stinking bounce, I'm ashamed of myself.
The mayor's ashamed. Back to you, fellas.
We were going to tell Oscar that we were going to burn the tape of that first pitch because his opponents would keep that, and the one bounce to the plate, they would probably say, yeah, Oscar Goodman always falls short of his goals.
Ball to the bag. One gone.
Oscar was serious about it. He was down on the sidelines warming up. And then he got out there and one-hopped it. The problem was he was warming up from 45 feet, and then he got out there and was 60 feet, so he was great at 45 feet.
He threw it 45 feet. You put some heat on him before the ball game down on the field.
Okay.
Chad Mottola, lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. One of his favorite movies, Caddyshack. Man after my own heart. Healthy cut by Mottola, who's built like a brick outhouse. 6'3", 220. He singled back in the first. Went to second on an error by the right fielder, Mario Encarnacion. Number foul, first base side, 1-2.
Well, you said Matola's big. He's a big man. Those kickers on the bottom there are size 14s. Play in the NBA with that size shoe.
Right back to the screen, Matola on it.
You know, Greg could use a 1-2-3 inning and see what that might do to his confidence. He got the first hitter, Jeff Leifer.
Chad's all-time favorite TV shows: Cheers, Coach, Spider-Man,
and SportsCenter, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also one of my daughter's favorite cartoons from way back. You ready? Speed Racer, back from the 60s. Hyatt should make this play, and he does. We've got 2 down.
Well, we promise, Oscar, that we'll burn the tape after we show it just one time. The Honorable Mayor of Las Vegas, he's a terrific guy. Had a chance to talk to him before the game. Just a little short.
He wishes he had that one back. Kevin Gregg needs to cheer up. He's still got the lead.
Got his game face on.
Brito out to center. Long. Plays the hop. 2 out, single for Tilson Brito.
Well, Tilson's probably thinking, I wish I'd have done that the last time up. He had runners at third and second in the first inning, and Charlotte already had a 2-0 lead. That could have put a little bit of a dent in Vancouver, but Brito gets the hits with 2 outs and nobody on instead of the one with 2 on and 2 outs.
So now Gregg will have to come from stretch. David Toth, his parents celebrated their 32nd wedding anniversary yesterday. Struck out swinging in the second. He'll try to deliver a hit for Mom and Dad watching back home.
Yeah, Tom Spencer has stayed with his plan of alternating his catchers, despite the fact Eric Christopherson is the leading hitter in the series, 5 hits and 7 at-bats.
Line shot off the glove of Ortiz. He'll chase it down. Brito takes a wide turn, but he'll stop at second. Line drive hit for Toth. Happy anniversary to Mom and Dad.
Pardon me if you've heard this before, but it looks like we're playing the Michael Jackson defense tonight. A lot of guys with a glove on one hand for no apparent reason. I thought he had that one, too. Not very good at the defensive side. Toth hit a bullet, but it certainly looked like Ortiz was going to get it. I think maybe he jumped a little too soon and was starting to come down when it hit the tip of his glove. Man, that didn't tell the whole story because we've had a pretty generous official scorer here.
I knew you'd get that shot in.
Yeah, this is the truth. He hasn't come after me yet.
Good stop by Ardois. Now, if Ortiz, Dave, was 5'10 instead of 5'9, he would have made that play. Would have made that play.
If you had Michael Jordan's vertical leap, you'd have made that play, too. If Biff and Butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Esteban out to short. Ortiz to redeem himself. He makes Dave Campbell proud. Top of the third in the books. Here at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. A 5-3 game. Field in Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 4. The 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series. Vancouver Canadiens in a must-win situation. They've got to win this one to force a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night.
Well, right now, it's been the difference of clutch hitting. Vancouver got a couple of 2-out hits in the first inning to drive in 2 runs, and Charlotte has stranded 2 in each of the first 3 innings.
Mike Heathcott has done the job until now. Terrence Long with a rope to right. Matola plays it, and he holds Long to a single. Nice play out in right field by Chad Matola.
It really was. That ball was labeled 2-base hit all the way, but he got a good jump on it, was able to flag it down, and whirled, and he's got a strong throwing arm, so Terrence couldn't go any further.
Heathcott had set down 4 in a row until now.
You know, Terrence left the bat swinging. He looked like he tried to throw a little cutter. You see Matola over into the corner and gloves it and makes that spin and a strong throw.
Long with an RBI ground out and a single. His 5th hit of the series. He's knocked in 5 runs for Vancouver. Jeff Ball, a 2-run single in the first, despite a nagging wrist injury. He's having a very strong AAA World Series. Trying to keep the Vancouver defense, or the Charlotte defense rather, honest. Vancouver's Jeff Ball trying to lay one down.
Well, for all the good things Ball did this year, we mentioned earlier in the series, 19 grounded into double plays. That was amongst the league leaders in the Pacific Coast League. Terrence Long looked like he was taking a pretty aggressive lead right there.
Sneaking away from that first base bag.
Sometimes managers who control the running game flash a signal to the catcher either to pitch out or try a pickoff play at first base. They'll relay that to the pitcher.
Nothing happening on that pitch. Long stays close to first. And no throw from Toth. Ball has knocked in 3 runs in the series. Vancouver's offense starting to come alive here in Game 4. 6 hits, and we are in the 3rd.
This is a guy Mike Quaddy likes to hit and run with. Good bat control. Skipper of the Vancouver Canadiens.
In 40 games with Vancouver, after the Kenny Rogers deal, Long with 7 steals and 11 tries. And Heathcock's certainly aware of him at first base as he goes to 2-1 with Jeff Ball.
Yeah, classic hit and run count right now. Contact hitter, good speed at first base. Try to open up a hole in the infield. Ball, a straightaway hitter. He can hit behind the runner.
Vancouver looking to pour on more offense here in the 3rd. Ball has that front heel in the air as he steps into the pitch. 2-2 now.
Ball tried to turn the shoulder in, but home plate umpire Tim Timmons wasn't buying it. I think Ball was looking for a pitch away to try to hit in that hole between first and second.
Whoa! Jeff Ball ducks out of the way. Full count.
Low bridge. Try to hang in as long as you can, but then you got to go for cover.
No break on that pitch. Thrown by Mike Heathcock.
Heathcock was doing a good job of keeping the ball down. Looks like this inning he's trying to overthrow just a little bit. He's just got to go back and throw that sinking fastball and get the good movement.
We'll see if Long takes off on the pitch. He does. Tough chance. Simon steps on the bag. It's a double play. A break for the Charlotte defense.
The ball hit the mound and carried towards Simons. Mitch was able to kind of jump, grab it, step on second, and throw to first in one motion. So the best laid plans. Mike Quaddy starting the runner, and Simons, because he was on the cover, was running right towards second base. Ball hits the mound and gets a kangaroo hop right up in the air to Simons, and Mitch takes care of the rest. So the bad breaks that Vancouver got in the first inning, they got a good one right there.
Terrific acrobatic play by Simons to get to the ball and then to get out of the way of Terrence Long. High at to left. Guido the grab. Vancouver finished bottom of the 3rd. Through 3 in Las Vegas. 5-3. In Las Vegas, Nevada, a 5-3 lead for Vancouver. Last night's hero, Dave, right-hander John Garland. Tremendous line for the 19-year-old.
He pitched a brilliant ball game last night. As we were kidding before the game, said the only guy who really deserved to celebrate last night couldn't, Las Vegas style, couldn't go to the tables. Went and got a soft drink and went to the, what'd you say, video arcade? Oh, boy.
Maybe he brought the Sega along. Although he did receive a $1,200 Maurice Lacroix watch for being named the ALS Lou Gehrig Player of the Game, which has been the case throughout the series. Not a bad gift. Big curveball taken by Simons. Strike one on the inside corner.
Well, Mitchell made a nice play last inning after kicking a double play ball in the first, so he had to put that behind him, and he came up with a nice one there in the bottom of the third inning.
Simons with a single and a run and a sacrifice fly. Coming into tonight, just 1 for 13 in the series, so his offense and his defense coming around. Foul up the first baseline. Mitch had a 16-game hit streak during the season, and really a spark plug atop the order for Charlotte throughout the 1999 campaign. He's played some outfield as well and is settled in now at second base here in the postseason.
Yeah, just kind of a valuable utility guy. Got a lot more playing time than Tom Spencer thought he would at the beginning of the year. When Brian Simmons was called up, Tilson Brito moved out to left field, and that opened up second base playing time for Mitch Simons.
Simons has bounced around 9 years in the minors, yet to make his major league debut. Still hoping to get a crack at the big show. Full count.
Well, Jim Morris, left-hander for Tampa Bay, 35-year-old rookie making his debut. What a story that is.
He can still bring it. Pitching like Jack Morris. Simons pulled this one too far. Count stays full. Throws about 95 miles an hour or so.
At least. Some of the guys on Charlotte said they were snapping some heads in the dugout. Say, who's this guy hitting 97 on the radar gun?
Ortiz with a nifty stab. One gone, top of the fourth.
Just briefly, the story on Jim Morris, a #1 draft choice of Milwaukee back in 1983. A lot of arm injuries, never got out of A-ball. Went to college, got his degree, became a high school biology and chemistry teacher, and coached baseball. Told his team if they made the state playoffs in Texas, he'd accept their challenge to go to a tryout camp. That happened this summer. Tampa Bay signed him. He went through the minors, and he's in the big leagues.
Dave Holland's trying to get back to the bigs as well, putting up some big numbers for the Charlotte Knights this season, especially in postseason play. Tremendous 2-run home run to right back in the first. That gave the Knights a short-lived 2-0 lead. Vancouver scored 5 in its half of the first. Since, the Knights have gotten one back. Good pitch by Gregg. Looks like Gregg is starting to get comfortable on the mound, starting to regain some poise.
Yeah, he had to get through an inning, and he did. He put a 0 up in the third inning and gets the leadoff man here in the fourth. Juan Gonzalez of Texas 3 bombs tonight as the Rangers hammered around Oakland. That gives them an awfully strong leg up on the American League West. Red Sox were beaten by Mike Messina and the Orioles 1-0.
He's starting to sink a bit in the American League wild card race.
A kid you might have seen this year, I'm not sure, Alphonse Soriano hit a home run in the bottom of the 11th to give the Yankees a win tonight.
His range is unbelievable. He has a strong arm as well, but his range is breathtaking. He's so quick and covers so much ground. Hollins to first on the walk. Catch Sports Center at 1 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Pacific over on ESPN with your host tonight, Kenny Mayne and Trey Wingo. Top stories, the Diamondbacks from worst to first, National League playoff race update and highlights, and Team USA struggles in Boston at the Ryder Cup. Sports Center tonight, ESPN, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. Jeff Abbott stands in. Move to first. Hollins back.
Well, Davis stepped up, the home run and 2 walks. It appears that after he hit that fastball off Kevin Gregg in the first inning, Gregg really hadn't wanted to feed him a heater since then.
Good stop by Artois, an outstanding defensive catcher. Looks like Gregg is being very careful with Abbott.
Well, Jeff is an excellent high ball hitter. He utilizes the whole field. He's a terrific 2-strike hitter. Haven't really found any holes yet. I think you're going to have to pound him in and hope for the best.
Hitting .383 in the postseason for the Knights, with 3 homers and 15 runs knocked in. Good pitch there, evens the count 1-1. Abbott's 13 ribbies led all International League teams in the Governor's Cup playoffs. The The Knights defeating North Carolina State rival Durham for the Governor's Cup and the trip to the Las Vegas AAA World Series. One and two.
Pretty good slide step by Kevin Gregg. He's 6'6", and you know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, you'd see a guy that tall and you'd automatically say you can run on him because he has such a high leg kick and a long stride to the plate. But pitchers have learned to combat that with that slide step or that quicker move to home plate to cut down the running game.
Gregg has been living dangerously tonight. The Knights have stranded 6 already, 2 in each inning. Entering the 4th, Hollins is on with the walk, and we have activity in the Vancouver bullpen. Left-hander Leo Vasquez getting loose, along with right-hander Bill King. He's up yet again. Pitching a full ball game out there tonight.
Yeah, Bill's going to get a save. He's been up 3 times.
Simulated game for King. And Abbott goes down swinging. Feather in the cap for Kevin Gregg. His second strikeout.
Well, the thing that Gregg has been doing the last couple of innings, when he's been missing down. In the first inning, he was up with everything. And after a visit from Pete Rickard, he seems to be locating the ball downstairs. He's going to give Ardois a workout on pitches in the dirt, but those pitches don't seem to travel as far as the ones about belt high.
One more tough hitter for Gregg to get here in the 4th, big Luis Raven. Slammed a long home run last night. He's flown to left and flown to center this evening. Just 2 for 14 in the series. His 2 hits for extra bases, home run and a double.
Take a look at the sequence on Kevin Gregg's work to Jeff Abbott. First pitch misses low, then he tied him up with a sinker in, fouled the slider off, stayed down and missed again, and then got him with the sinker. So he's getting some good movement on that 2-seamer. And we said if you're going to pitch Abbott anyway, you probably have to pitch him in because he has such good plate coverage away.
Raven ahead on the swing. 1 and 2. We'll see if he goes down and away. The Raven here.
Well, right now, Louis kind of shaking his head. He's pulling off the ball a little bit with his front shoulder. Then the head's flying, and he's shaking his head because he thinks those are pitches he should be hitting. But when the shoulder opens and the head goes, you're not going to do much but hit dribbler's foul, and then pitches down and away, you're going to swing and miss.
Hollins at first, a 1-out walk. Raven trying to keep his head on the ball. High and tight, 2 and 2. Hollins has been a stabilizing force for the Charlotte Knights since joining the team on July 1st. Traded by the Angels during spring training to the Blue Jays, who then released him. Hollins now in the White Sox organization. Terrific pitch by Gregg. He did go down and away. Third strikeout for Gregg. The Knights have left 7 men on. Beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 4 of the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series heads to the bottom of the 4th inning. And the home team tonight, the Vancouver Canadiens, with a 5-3 edge. Bottom third of the order in the 4th to face Mike Heathcott, Mario Encarnacion, Eric Martins, and Danny Ardois. Ribby double for Encarnacion and a run in the 5-run first. Bunting for a hit. Heathcott with the throw in time.
Well, good idea, but bad execution. You can't bunt it right back to the pitcher. Not a bad idea. Encarnacion with good speed, tried to beat out a bunt, started a rally, but it went straight back to Mike Heathcott.
Heathcott, a former Blue Jay, played collegiate baseball at Creighton University. Made his major league debut at the White Sox last season. Against the Texas Rangers, he retired the first 8 men he faced before giving up a double to Will Clark. Pitched 3 innings, allowing 1 run. Eric Martins with an RBI single in the first.
Well, so far, Heathcott has been impressive. It's been Kevin Gregg getting the big outs with men in scoring position that has been the difference. Vancouver's lack of clutch hitting, as they've had opportunities.
Curve stays inside, 1-1.
I say Vancouver, I meant Charlotte.
Charlotte Knights in blue, Governor's Cup champions in the International League. Vancouver in red, the Pacific Coast League champs. Another chance for Beltre. Esteban through to first. 2 gone.
So Beltre, who had kind of a ragged night last night, he's shaking his head a little bit, trying to maintain that confidence. You know, we talk about hitters going into slumps and pitchers. Fielders can go into slumps too. You make a couple of errors, you start doubting yourself a little bit. The hands get a little stiff. But Beltre makes a couple of plays tonight. He's probably feeling a little better about his defensive game.
Danny Artois, strong defensive catcher. Past the mound, past second base, into center field. 2-out single for Artois. Cajun cooking paying off for Danny Artois from Mamou, Louisiana.
He got a fastball up in the zone, and Danny not going to wait around. See something you like, go after it.
That's how the Vancouver teammates of Danny Artois feel about his cooking. They see something they like, they go after it. An accomplished Cajun chef.
Hope they help chip in to buy the food.
You know what they say? You buy it, I'll cook it. Not me, just what Danny Artois says. Joey Espada. Can you cook, Dave?
Do I cook? Yeah.
What do you make? What's your specialty?
Showy beef is good. Pretty good with linguine and clam.
Sounds good. Toth with the stop.
Mike Heathcock has faced 11 batters, thrown 11 first pitch strikes. Who does he think he is? Greg Maddux? Can't do any better than that. Now, my wife made a deal with me. She said, when the kids are growing up, I'll cook. As soon as they're gone, you cook.
How's that deal working out for Diane?
She doesn't like my cooking.
Artois truly is a terrific cook from Mamou, Louisiana. His grandfather taught him all the Cajun secrets from Bayou country. 3-1 to Espada.
You know, this is a guy he's got to get because Roberto Vaz on deck has got some pop. He's got a couple of hits in the series, a home run and a double. Joey Espada, his best shot's going to be a little double up in the gap somewhere. So you got to fire a strike and make the youngster swing the bat.
Ball 4 inside. Didn't miss by much. Espada's on for the second time. And that pushes Artois down to second.
Well, let's see if Vaz can make him pay for the mistake. Some of the umpires behind home plate thought maybe a strike, but pretty good call by Tim Timmons. That ball appeared to be inside. Nice frame job by Toth, but Timmons, good call.
Roberto Vaz, single, stole second and scored in the first as the Canadiens put 5 on the board. He struck out swinging in the second. Vaz looks a lot like Tony Gwynn. 5'9", 195 pounds. Native of Brooklyn. Trying to get on track in the series. Had a fine college baseball career at Alabama.
Well, we talked about the 2-out hitting. Vancouver's done it tonight. They've had a couple of 2-out hits to produce runs. We'll see if Vaz can do it again here.
Let's run on that one late. Foul down the left field line.
First inning, Encarnacion with a 2-out double to make it 4-2, and then Eric Martins followed with a single to make it 5-2, and those 2 runs are the difference right now.
Heathcock a strike away from getting out of trouble here in the 4th, trying to keep his team close. Knights down by a pair. If Vancouver hangs on for the win, we'll play a winner-take-all Game 5 tomorrow night. Artois second, Espada at first. Boz stays alive, 1-2.
All right. That's hitting a tough pitch right there. It looked like if Roberto didn't hit that one, it was going to hit him in the foot.
It's a tough slider in on the lefty hitter.
Yeah, in case you're wondering what the rule is, if you swing and miss and the pitch hits you, it's strike 3. It's a strike.
Look out, Mike! Strike him out!
Leeper beats Boz to the bag, and that'll do it in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll go to the 5th in Las Vegas, 5-3 Canadiens.
Handler down in the Vancouver dugout with Vancouver pitching coach Pete Rickard. You made a trip to the mound early to try to settle down Kevin Gregg. It appears to have worked. What did you say?
Well, actually, I just told him to continue what he was doing, keep the ball down, throw strikes, and make him put the ball in play, you know. He wasn't doing a bad job, and I felt that we could have gotten him out of the inning a lot quicker, but I didn't want him to panic, and I didn't want him to try and overthrow and do everything himself. Hey, let him hit the ball. We're going to make the play eventually and take care of business, but just keep the ball down and throw strikes.
Fellas, it kind of helps to have a pitching coach with some World Series experience, as Pete Rickard has with the Baltimore Orioles. Back upstairs.
Yeah, one of the key things is, especially when you're working with youngsters, to keep them from panicking. I mean, sometimes when the wheels start coming off, you know, they lose focus. Everything starts whirling around in their head. And a veteran like Rickard, Kurt Champion coming out and talking to him, settling him in, that's part of the job. You got to be a part-time technician, part-time psychologist.
Jeff Leefer looks to get it going for the Charlotte Knights here in the 5th. The Knights have had plenty of scoring chances, Dave. They've left 7 men aboard through 4.
Yeah, the best thing that Gregg did in the 1st and 2nd innings, he had runners at 3rd and 2nd with 2 outs and got key outs in both innings.
Espada with the scoop. And the throw beats Leefer to the bag. 1 gone, top of the 5th.
It was good hustle by Leefer going down the line, though. Espada kind of took his time and looked up, and all of a sudden he had to hurry the throw just a little bit. Leefer running hard all the way down. And the old half step.
That hustle made it a very close play.
Yeah, that old half step to say, well, gosh, if that base were 87 feet, you know, I'd have a hit, but if it were 87 feet, the infielders would play in closer. So it's all a moot point.
Kevin Gregg living dangerously tonight. He's allowed 7 base hits. The Knights have left 7 men on. And again, double-barrel action in the Vancouver pen. Foul up the 3rd base line. Chad Mottola, one of 5 Charlotte Knights to homer in this series.
Yeah, we mentioned they've gone 2 through 6 in their batting order. Mottola going to the opposite field. He said, hey, I just took advantage of the short porch out there, but he's still cranked it pretty good. Chad at one time in the series was 6 for 8. And he has not had a hit since then.
Watches that one miss, blown away. Mottola putting up big numbers in this AAA World Series. Ortiz charges. Dug out nicely by Ball.
Well, again, Gregg not overpowering, but he's just continually keeping the ball down. And right now, the Charlotte hitters are not making him get it up. They're a little bit too aggressive at the plate. They've got to make him bring the ball up and take that low stuff, because they're just hitting little choppers. You see the numbers. First time through, 2nd time, and 3rd time has been a charm.
It looks like Kevin Gregg and Pete Rickard have hit upon something. Keep the ball down against these big, strong Charlotte hitters and make them beat it into the ground for groundouts. And as long as Gregg can execute and keep the ball down, he might be able to last this one for a while.
There's a guy named Randy Jones that pitched for the Padres for a number of years that found that to be a pretty good formula.
Cy Young Award winner. You spent a year or 2 in San Diego.
Yeah, and he just drove hitters absolutely nuts. 82, 83 miles an hour, but with great late movement. They'd say, don't swing or don't hit a grounder, and they did every time. I think what the approach is that Charlotte's going to have to do, and Gary Ward's going to have to talk to his troops, especially Raven and other guys. Looks like they're all trying to pull the ball off Kevin Gregg, be a hero and hit a home run. They got to start thinking right center field, and that'll make them wait longer on some of the off-speed stuff.
Brito, a veteran hitter. That one bounces before it gets to the plate. He singled in the third, popped out to the first baseman Ball in the first. Brito with Major League time with Oakland and Toronto, 8th in the IL in batting during the regular year at .318. Very consistent all season long. Fouled out of play, first base side.
And Brito's approach wasn't too bad. He waited. Youngster Gregg made a good pitch, but Brito fought it off. That's what a pitcher has to do to counter a hitter waiting on the ball longer, is pound him inside.
Tilson fouls that one off his leg at the plate. So consistent for the Charlotte Knights this season. Tilson Brito had a 19-game hit streak, a team record.
If there's any worms around home plate, they're dead the way the Charlotte hitters are beating the ball in the dirt down there.
Again, Charlotte Knight pulling the ball. That one foul up the third base line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different adjustments you can make here. One of them, I think, with that ball coming down and in, is to get off the plate a little bit, close up the stance, and think more back up the middle.
Brito gives it a ride. Deep to left field. The 6th Charlotte Knight to hit a home run here at Cashman Field during this AAA World Series. It's a one-run game.
Well, we talked about Jeff Ball's ability to foul off tough pitches before he had a 2 RBI single in the first inning. Brito was able to foul off about 5 good pitches in that at-bat, and then the youngster made a mistake, and Brito hit that ball a long ways. So 6 home runs in the series, all by different players, and it's numbers 2 through 7 in the Charlotte lineup that each have a home run, and Mike Quaddy is out to the mound.
That Charlotte Knights ball club can hit.
He has not made a move yet. He knows that for his youngster Kevin Gregg to get a chance to win the game, he's got to get through the 5th inning here. And he might have just gone out and said to him, look, you're doing a nice job. Don't worry about it. But he said, I'm not going to use you much longer. Don't try to hold anything back. Give me everything you got right here, and I'll probably make a change in the 6th.
I think that's good to tell a young kid.
Yeah, I mean,
bear down, get one more out.
Yeah, he may be thinking, I got to get 6 or 7 or 8 innings, and he may be trying to pace himself. Manager goes out and says, look, you know, don't pace yourself. Give me everything you got left in the tank, and I'll go to the pen. Just kind of letting the players know where they stand.
That was the 101st pitch thrown by Kevin Gregg in 4 2/3 innings. A lot of pitches tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And he had 43 plus with 1 out in the 2nd inning, so he really struggled early.
Base hit to right for David Toth. And we'll see if Mike Quaddy goes to the pen now with the tying run aboard.
Yeah, he's on his way out. 2nd trip out in the innings, an automatic change, so we'll just have to see whether it's the righty or the lefty.
Well, he gave Kevin Gregg a chance, gave him a shot.
He did.
That's all you can ask. We'll go to the Vancouver bullpen when we come back. Kevin Gregg in the Vancouver Canadiens dugout departs the ball game after 4 2/3 innings. He leaves with the lead, but he can't win the game. He fell 1 out shy of qualifying for the win. Should Vancouver hang on for the victory? Out of the bullpen for the Canadiens, right-hander Bill King. We saw him last night in Game 3. He went 1 1/3, gave up a hit, a run, walked none, struck out none, gave up a long home run to Luis Raven.
Indeed. So we entertain the folks at home, and I'm sure they could absolutely care less about the activity in the booth this inning.
I wasn't about to bring it up. I was not about to bring it up, but you are playing hurt, Sue.
Yeah, I had my foot up on the counter and it slipped, and I took all the skin off my shin. It was bleeding. The paramedics were attending me, and during the last commercial break, I had to fill out an accident report. What a klutz.
Looks like somebody pulled the bark off the side of a tree all the way down your shin.
Oh, let's see. Does anybody really care?
You are playing hurt.
Yeah.
Now, nagging injuries during your playing days. When did you play hurt?
Every day.
All the time, right?
Every day.
Got to give me a few of those.
Yeah.
Here's Esteban Beltre.
Like a friend of mine, Jerry Gross, was interviewing Bob Miller, who was one of my closest friends in baseball. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he said, Bob, for all the youngsters out there, what was the toughest adjustment from coming from the minors to the majors? He said, learning how to stay up all night and still play the next day. Oh, God bless Monk. What a wonderful human being he was.
We wouldn't know anything about that this week here in Las Vegas. Early to bed, early to rise for this entire broadcast crew here in Las Vegas, Nevada this week. And it rained Wednesday on the off days. We had to make up for lost time. That fastball just missed the outside corner.
Mike Quaddy going, what was that pitch?
How'd that peroxide feel on that shin?
Good. Good. I'm a masochist. It felt wonderful.
Runner takes off. Throw down to second by Ardois. Not in time. Toth almost lost his balance.
Well, that was a case where Jeff Ball, the first baseman, they did not think Toth would run, so he was playing behind the runner, and Ardois showed off that gun, but Toth had such a huge lead. You see Ball playing behind the runner. Dave just said, well, if they're going to give it to me, I'm going to take a shot at it.
Why don't you hold the runner there?
I think they just think Beltre, they didn't think Toth would run, and I think they feel Beltre may spray it that way. He's an opposite field hitter, and they just wanted to have a little more range. But Toth decided, I said, Toth, it's Toth. He decided, hey, I'm going to take a shot at it. If they're not going to hold me on, I'll show them my speedy wheels. Calculated risk by Vancouver, and it backfired. Beltre will try to get a two-out hit to tie the score.
Toth down at second. Veteran catcher gladly takes the base. 29-year-old David Toth.
So you can see that where Beltre is hitting the ball right now is the thinking of Mike Quaddy. He wanted Ball to be back and have a little more range to cover more territory, because the last two balls that Beltre swung at have gone that way. And now Ball moves Encarnacion over towards the right field line a little bit. Some defensive repositioning.
Tying runs at second with two men down. Tying run coming around third. Long fires, and the throw is up the third base line. Toth will score. RBI single. Esteban Beltre, a 5-5 tie.
Well, Charlotte was certainly frustrated in the first 3 innings, leaving men all over the base paths, but they strike with 2 outs. They get a home run from Brito, a single from Toth, stolen base that comes back to Hahn, and then Esteban Beltre rams one up the middle. Good play by Terrence Long. He charged hard, threw it low enough that Beltre wasn't going to be at advance. Cutoff man could have gotten it, but the throw was just a tad off line and handcuffed Ardois. Good slide by Toth.
Mitch Simons hits for the 4th time as Ardois drops the signs down. 5-5 ball game in the 5th. Long way to go tonight in Las Vegas.
It's not always a good sign when your guy's hitting for the 4th time in 5 innings, but it is even at 5 apiece.
Charlotte now with 10 hits.
Yeah, just remember the other thing we've talked about the whole series. If it gets to be a battle of the bullpens, the edge goes to Charlotte with their experience and the fact they have 9 guys down there, 5 lefties and 4 righties.
Little clip and save for you. They do have a lot of depth, and most of the pitchers on the Charlotte staff have pitched in the majors with the White Sox at some point.
Yeah, 7 out of the 9. So we've already seen Heathcott. He's been pitching well. He has held the fort. Came in the first inning when they were down by 5, and he's given up nothing.
Simons goes the opposite way. Foul ball.
So Bill King 4 times up in the bullpen, finally made it to the mound.
Hopefully for Vancouver, didn't leave his best stuff in the pen. He's a strike away from getting out of the inning. Vancouver starter Kevin Gregg can't lose the ball game. Runner at first, Beltre, the responsibility of King.
See if Beltre might get a pitch and try and go. Nice stop again by Ardois. Beltre flinched. There again, Esteban, not great speed, and Ardois, the good throwing catcher, but the advantage for Charlotte would be if he gets thrown out, you got the top of the order. Simons leading off in the 6th.
Simons with that open stance we've talked about this week, facing the pitcher. Dead on. Past Pyatt into left field, a hit. Beltre stops at second. The 11th hit for the Charlotte Knights. They hit .290 as a team during the season, and they brought the hitting shoes tonight to Cashman Field.
Well, that ball just got by Pyatt. We haven't really seen a healthy Adam Pyatt here in the AAA World Series. In the first round of the playoffs against Salt Lake, he hurt his knee, and he really has not had a good first step. In fact, we didn't know going into Game 1 right until game time if he was going to be able to play. He wanted to have a chance to be showcased, swing the bat, but I think it's really affected him his first step on the defense.
The dangerous Dave Hollins stands in with 2 men aboard. Long 2-run home run to right field for Hollins in the first. Since then, he's been walked twice.
Well, if there's one Charlotte hitter that has appeared to be absolutely locked in tonight, it's been Dave Hollins. He hasn't swung at any bad pitches, and the one he did hack at, he just drilled. Well, 2-0. Fastball count. Hollins a fastball hitter. Ardois certainly aware of that. Let's see what the veteran catcher tries to get King to throw here.
Beltre at second, Simons at first, and King has got to be careful. Good rip by Hollins. 2-1.
King made a good pitch back in the first inning. Not such a good pitch, though, from Kevin Jarvis as Hollins left the yard in a hurry and a long ways into the night.
That sounded like a jackpot coming off the bat.
We've mentioned the 2 out hits for Charlotte. The 4 consecutive hits they've had have all been with 2 strikes on the hitter.
The 2-1 to Hollins, 3-1.
Well, back to a fastball count. King threw a 2-0 fastball to Hollins, but he threw it in a perfect location at the knees on the outside. Let's see if maybe Dave looks away, tries to drive it to left center, or if he looks inner half and tries to hammer.
Late pitch thrown by King. Full count.
And the changeup on the fastball count.
With 2 men away and runners at first and second, they will take off on the pitch. Big situation for Bill King in Vancouver. Hollins walks and the bases are loaded for Jeff Abbott.
Well, out comes Mike Quaddy again. He's got activity in his bullpen. And he will make the pitching change.
Bill King will depart after giving up single walk. 5-5 tie in Las Vegas. Charlotte hits in the 5th. Mike Quaddy is dipping into his bullpen. Top of the 5th inning here at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. A 5-5 tie, and on to work the 3rd Canadiens pitcher of the night, Luis Vizcaíno.
Saw him earlier in the series. He likes to feature the slider, and I think this is really a critical juncture for the Vancouver Canadiens. Again, bullpen advantage goes to Charlotte, and if Abbott gets a big hit and Vancouver and Charlotte gets the lead, then all of a sudden Tom Spencer can start that left-right rotation that he is so fond of, and rightly so. I mean, he's got the hammer down there. He's going to use them. So We talked about the 2-out hits in the first couple of games of this series being the difference. In the early going, it was Vancouver with the big 2-out hits, but now Charlotte has manufactured 4 hits here with 2 outs, plus a walk, bases loaded, and their best hitter, Jeff Abbott, coming to the plate.
Abbott 1 for 2, a single, a strikeout. He's also a walk. Abbott hitting .375 in the postseason for Charlotte. He's knocked in 15 runs in postseason play. 2 men aboard from here. Fastball on the outside corner. Good pitch by Vizcaino.
Well, Jeff either A, wanted to look at a pitch, or B, he was sitting on the slider, and Vizcaino started him off with a fastball. Sometimes the hitter will make an educated guess, and if you don't get what you're looking for, just take it.
No place to put Abbott. Hyatt with the scoop. He goes to second for the force, and Vancouver gets out of the jam. Luis Vizcaino does the job. Bottom of the 5th, 5-5 from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Cashman Field in Las Vegas, and just outside, the Club MLB Roadshow, keeping the kids and teenagers entertained, Dave.
Yeah, this youngster getting it up there pretty good. Mike Quaddy, who could be running out of bullpen guys, may want to enlist him. A couple of semi-trailers, they pull up. Been fun. Had the McFarland exhibit. That has been down on Fremont Street. That's been terrific. And the kids having a chance to hit, pitch. Rawlings was also here with their traveling exhibit, actually repairing gloves, showing how gloves, bats, balls are made. So they've had a lot of activity around the ballpark.
Really a great week of activity here in Las Vegas in conjunction with the Las Vegas AAA World Series. Game 4, we head to the home half of the 5th inning. Vancouver Canadiens need to win tonight to force a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night. Mike Heathcott still going for the Charlotte Knights. Fastball outside corner to Jose Ortiz for strike 1.
Still throwing strike 1 is Mike Heathcott.
As a manager and a pitching coach, you got to love that. Get strike 1 over.
Well, the thing is, I mean, any statistic you look at, when a hitter gets 2 strikes on him, at the major league level at least, the composite batting average is 187, whether it's 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, or 3-2.
Ortiz walked and scored in the first, grounded to short in the second. Heathcock trying to put him away.
Mindset of the hitter totally changes depending on the particular count.
There's strike 3.
2 balls, no strikes, 3-1. Very aggressive, looking to drive a ball. 0-2, 1-2, looking to protect, taking more defensive swings. That's the norm. There's some of the big sluggers in the game that take the same 3 hacks on all 3 pitches, and Ortiz chased a fastball up and out of the zone.
Heathcott has struck out 3 for his manager, Tom Spencer, watching from the Charlotte dugout. 5-5 game.
Well, with all the offense in this one tonight, a little surprising that the front runner for the player of the game right now is number 33 standing on the mound.
Terrence Long, an RBI ground out in the first, a single in the third. He's knocked in 5 runs in the series.
Heathcott came in with 2 outs in the first inning and 5 runs in. Retired Danny Ardois, and since then has allowed 2 hits and 1 walk.
Three 2/3 scoreless innings worked by Mike Heathcock. He's behind Long, 2-1. Now 3-1. Fastball misses.
Dangerous count to this kid because he's got a quick bat. He's going to load it up and look for something to hammer on here.
Long, 6'1", 190 pounds, but he does have good power. He's got good pop and a quick bat. He walks on 5 pitches.
Well, that may get the Vancouver bullpen going. It's a little stirring down there as Jeff Ball strides to the plate. He had a big 2 RBI single in the first inning. Looked like he had a hit back in the third, but it took kind of a crazy bounce off the mound and carried him right to Mitch Simon, who was covering on the stolen base attempt. It ended up in a double play. So Derek Hasselhoff gets up in the Charlotte bullpen.
Heathcott has walked a pair and struck out 3 in his 3 2/3 innings on the mound. Jeff Ball fouls it back to the screen.
Heathcott was obviously the long man tonight. Hasselhoff the second long man. When Spencer likes to start going to his left-right rotation, it's usually 6th inning on. Ball loose in the bullpen, so we're going to have to wait a second as Tilson Brito chases it down. So they've got Hasselhoff up just in case Heathcott starts running out of gas here.
Heathcott, a 13th round pick in the 1990 draft by Chicago. Made his major league debut with the White Sox last season. Pitched in 1 game. Double play ball. Beltre on the first. Not in time. Ball hustling down the first base line.
Nice work by the middle infield, but when Simons had to go to his left and then pivot and go back to the shortstop, that makes it a lot tougher to turn the twin killing. But good feed to Beltre. Esteban unloaded, but Ball beat the relay. Anytime that fielder has to go over to his left, that makes that double play so much tougher. Great technique, though, by Simons, and Beltre avoids the sliding Terrence Long. Long went in hard and made Beltre retreat a step, so that might have been the difference.
Adam Pyatt at the plate. Texas League Triple Crown winner this season at Double-A Midland. Hacks at the first pitch, and he goes down in a heap at the plate.
Well, we mentioned he's been having some leg miseries, and he is really hurting right now.
Fouled it off his right knee. He hyperextended that knee earlier this month. Missed the entire PCL Championship Series as a result. And he has been hobbled in this series. We really haven't seen the real Adam Pyatt, Dave.
Yeah, right off the left ankle, and then I don't know if he twisted his right knee to boot. That's why you see a lot of hitters wearing those shin guards down over their foot. Some guys are just prone to do that, especially the guys that roll that top hand over quite a bit.
Vancouver trainer Walt Horn is helping out Adam Pyatt. Pyatt, 23 years old, native of Chicago, has a tremendous upside in the Oakland organization. He's going to hang tough, try to play through this pain. That right knee looks to really be bothering him.
Well, remember, there's no mercy in baseball. If Heathcott probably should go right back after Pyatt inside. Don't give him anything out over the plate. You're out there, you're fair game.
Pyatt hit .345 in Double-A ball, winning the Texas League Triple Crown. He's 3 for 14 in this Triple-A World Series.
Heathcott tried a slider, but got underneath it and left it up. He's got to get his arm up on top.
Ball at first with 2 men away. He represents the go-ahead run, home half of the 5th. 1-2 to Pyatt. Heathcott has done the job for the Charlotte Knights. When he entered, the Knights trailed 5-2. And he's held Vancouver at bay as the Knights have come back to tie it. Good pop on the fastball, but high.
Well, Heathcott would like to make something happen right here. If he goes 3-2, then Ball gets the extra start at first base, where it's easier to score on a double to the gap or down the line.
Another good stop by the catcher, Toad. And now the count is full, so Ball can take off on the pitch.
It does look like Heathcott starting to labor just a little bit. And I think this is Mike's second appearance in the AAA World Series, so I'm sure that Tom Spencer and Keith Champion keeping a very close eye on him right now.
Might be his last hitter, whether he gets him out or not. And he walks him. Third walk allowed by Heathcott. Second this inning.
Yeah, Tom Spencer, seeing that Heathcott missing upstairs, which is usually a pretty good indication, unless you're doing something mechanically wrong, that you're starting to tire, has not made the call yet. I think he may ask him how he feels, but he's made the call, and we will have a relief pitcher.
Heathcott goes 4 innings to keep the Charlotte Knights in the ball game. 5-5 in the 5th. Remember the 1999 AAA World Series with a commemorative baseball and game program. To order, send a check or money order to the address on your screen. Just $10 for your souvenir ball and $5 for a game program. Take home a piece of the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series. We are at Cashman Field in Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 4 of this best-of-5 AAA World Series. Charlotte Knights lead the series 2-1. Vancouver must win to force a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night.
Second appearance for Derek Hasselhoff. And he'll go against Mario Encarnacion, who had a RBI double back in the first inning.
Hasselhoff is, in fact, a distant cousin of David Hasselhoff of Baywatch fame. I know, Dave, you're flabbergasted by that.
Well, we called him David. We each called him David in the first appearance.
Adam Pide at first, playing through the pain of his hyperextended right knee. Mario Encarnacion, Ribby double and a run scored in the first, and he bounced back to the mound in the 4th. Hasselhoff's regular season numbers with the Charlotte Knights. Fastball drilled up the middle, a hit. Ball comes around third. Abbott fires to third. Hyatt is safe. Encarnacion takes the extra base. A Ribby single for Mario Encarnacion. A 6-5 Vancouver lead.
Well, Vancouver has done a good job with the 2-out hits. Charlotte did it last inning. Horrible throw by Jeff Abbott in center field. He threw a parachute to third base. No chance for the cutoff man whatsoever. This almost looked like a punt going to third base. Watch this throw. That is airmailed. Well, I guess we aren't going to see the throw. Here comes Pide into third, but throw had a lot of hang time.
Pide moving pretty well and feeling the pain as he tries to get up. Eric Martins right on that pitch, fouling it straight back. 2 men in scoring position for him. A Ribby single in the first for Martins and a ground ball to short in the 4th.
Vancouver's done a good job of answering the challenge. Charlotte scored 2 in the first. Vancouver bounced back with 5. They scored 2 in the 5th to tie the game, but Vancouver comes right back to take the lead.
1-1 to Martins. Should he rip one here, Vancouver would score a pair, take a 3-run lead. Canadians have to win this game to stay alive in this best-of-5 series. Game 5, if necessary, tomorrow night. Good curve on the inside corner, 1-2.
Well, you think back to the top of the 5th inning when Vizcaíno came in and got Abbott on that hot shot to third base. That was the 3rd time in 5 innings that Charlotte had men at 3rd and 2nd and didn't score. This time, here in the bottom of the 5th, Encarnacion gets the big hit.
Martins choking up, just looking to punch it somewhere. He fouls that one straight back. We saw Martins as a pinch runner last night. He's 1 for 2 this evening, his only at-bats of the series. Kirk Champion, pitching coach for the Charlotte Knights, along with manager Tom Spencer, watching intently in the third base dugout. That pitch didn't break across the inside corner.
Martin's a guy who's been around for a while, utility-type player, hit .237 on the regular season, but had an RBI hit earlier, so a lot of the moves in the lineup by Mike Quaddy have paid off tonight. Encarnacion, a couple of RBIs. Martins, so they've knocked in 3 of the 6 runs with guys that hadn't played much in the series.
Dave Hollins plays it off his chest. Strong throw in time to get Martins. That ends the inning. The Canadiens break the tie in the bottom of the 5th. We'll head to the 6th, 6-5 Vancouver. The Dancing Waters in front of the Bellagio Hotel on Las Vegas Boulevard. They synchronized the water fountains to go along with a tune. The other night we were walking by and heard Luck Be a Lady Tonight by Frank Sinatra. Very memorable. Wish I had the video camera, Sue. Wish I had a shot of you in front of the Dancing Waters as that song was being played. Something to save forever.
Well, Luis Vizcaíno comes out. Congratulations in order for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They win the National League West tonight, 11-3 over the San Francisco Giants. Randy Johnson gets the win. I guess that's only fitting. Sean Estes the loss. Arizona scored 4 in the first. Ellis Burks had a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first, but then Arizona pulled away to win it 11-3. And taking a look at the best record overall, Braves with another win tonight. How good are the Braves going right now? They get a win in the 10th inning on a home run from, yeah, you guessed it. No, you didn't. Ozzie Guillen, his first home run of the year. He hit one up in Montreal. You know you're going good when Ozzie Guillen hits a home run to win a game in the 10th inning. And the Mets are staggering. They have got to right the ship.
Talking baseball this week, Chipper Jones, National League MVP winner with his performance against the Mets. You saw him earlier this week down in Atlanta.
Now, he had a series, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs in the spotlight. But we've got a week and a half to go, so Jeff Bagwell hasn't been heard from. Matt Williams certainly had a big year to help the Diamondbacks.
Luis Raven takes a wild swing at a slider. He's flown to left, flown to center, and struck out swinging. How about the Diamondbacks already winning the National League West?
Well,
that didn't take long.
No, it's a phenomenal story. It really is. I mean, they started out last year 8-31, but they came back with a vengeance this year.
Raven gets under this one. Long with plenty of time to wait for this one to come down. Raven 0 for 4 with 3 flyouts.
Well, the big sluggers, you know, they blow hot and cold. McGuire, Sosa, they get in streaks where they hit them in rapid-fire session. But right now, Luis Raven is kind of messed up at the plate. He's pulling off everything that's breaking away from him, and his swing is not there right now.
Jeff Leeper 5 for 29 in postseason play. 172. 0 for 3 tonight. Getting back to the Diamondbacks, you have guys like Matt Williams, Luis Gonzalez, Jay Bell having fantastic years. The pitching hasn't been all that bad either.
Well, we got Todd Stottlemyre back. Omar Dowd pitched well. Mac Manti was the big acquisition. Stabilized that bullpen. Set up guys. Settled in. Swindell, Greg Olson.
Leeper skies this one shallow left. Ortiz back, Vaz coming in. And the left fielder, Roberto Vaz, puts it away.
Well, Vizcaíno has done the job. Again, coming in, we mentioned in the top of the 5th with the depth of the Charlotte bullpen, how important it was to get that key out with Jeff Abbott. Because if you let Charlotte get us 3 or 4 run lead at this point in the game, the way they can maneuver their bullpen, you can be in big trouble.
Chad Mottola takes strike 1. Strong righty hitter. A 1 for 3 night for Mottola. Single back in the first. Since then he's bounced to third and bounced to short. Right on that pitch, fouled it straight back.
Vizcaíno's come out a lot more aggressive than when we saw him in his first appearance. He was throwing breaking ball after breaking ball. He's done a much better job of mixing his pitches tonight.
We've seen a lot more fastball tonight. Good pop on that pitch for Vizcaíno. That's a fastball. Hyatt makes the play. Low throw, dug out nicely by Ball. And a 1-2-3 inning for Luis Vizcaíno and the Vancouver Canadiens.
Welcome back to Cashman Field here in Las Vegas. 6-5 in favor of Vancouver. We go to the bottom of the sixth. I'm with Mike Havlicek, the president of the ALS Association, and unfortunately, ALS very much in the news with the untimely passing of Catfish Hunter, but there's a growing partnership between the ALS Association and AAA Baseball. Why don't you tell us about that?
John, it's a relationship we're very proud of. Minor League Baseball cares so much about its fans. We're an organization that exists because we care about people. So it's a perfect liaison, a perfect alliance. And as you say, with Catfish's death, the connection between baseball and ALS is so painfully obvious. It brings home the point that we've got to kill this disease.
Is there something that the fans viewing tonight, is there some way that they can get involved in supporting the ALS Association and minor league baseball?
Well, we would recommend that they call the ALS Association, their local chapters. There are many ways that they can get involved in serving the mission of putting an end to ALS.
And certainly one of the ways would be by attending a minor league baseball game next season. Mike, thank you very much. Back upstairs.
John, thanks. ALS very much in the news lately with the passing of Catfish Hunter, as John pointed out, and the disease got its common name from Lou Gehrig, Lou Gehrig's disease. That's what claimed the life of the Iron Horse. Danny Artois leads off the home half of the sixth. 6-5 Canadiens. Vancouver, the home team this evening. Esteban Beltre has this one skip under his glove out to left center. Artois gets a hit out of the deal. He's 2 for 3.
Second baseman number 1, Joey Espada.
9th hit for Vancouver.
No, I'm making no comment by choice.
We have an issue with the official score still as this series continues.
Wish I could have had it when I was playing.
Joey Espada watches that one all the way in. Now Espada may drop one down here, Dave.
Yeah, he could. I mean, a lot of options for Mike Quada. He could play for one run here. And maybe he just showed bunt. Maybe switch to the hit and run.
Hollins in at third. Espada lays one up. Foul. 1-1. Got to get that bunt down. Fair or foul. How'd you bunt when you played?
Most of the time, pretty well. I mean, when you hit like I did, you better be able to catch it and run and bunt. So.
Hollins sneaking into third. Now you got to catch the ball with the bat, right?
That's what they tell you to do, especially if you're going to try to deaden it. One of the keys, though, a lot of hitters, when they try to pull the bat back to deaden the ball, they just pull back with the top hand, and that changes the angle of the bat, and then you bunt the ball foul. You see, he's got the bat out in front. Now there, he's going to pull the bat back because he's going to take the pitch. But some guys try to bunt it up the first base side and try to deaden it, but they pull the right hand back so much that they just aim the ball in foul territory.
Espada gets it down up the first base line. Leapers only play to first. Simon's covering. The sacrifice goes 3-4. Artois down to second.
Nice job by Espada. There's a left-hander warming in the Charlotte bullpen. We'll see if Tom Spencer might make a move. So far, he has not come out, but now he will.
Here comes Sporty. Tom Spencer, Charlotte Knights manager, and he will go to the pen for a lefty to face lefty hitting Roberto Vaz. When we come back, new pitcher on the hill for the Charlotte Knights here in Game 4 of the AAA World Series. Now on the mound for the Charlotte Knights, left-hander Todd Rizzo. A 6-5 Vancouver lead. Home half of the sixth here at Cashman Field. Vancouver must win this game to stay alive in this best-of-5 series. Roberto Vaz bunts it straight back, foul, strike one.
Well, two of the next three hitters are left-handed. You have Vaz hitting, then the right-handed Ortiz, and the left-hander Terrence Long. So Rizzo in to face them. Vaz tried to cross things up with Hollins playing back a bit.
Rizzo throws pretty hard. Good fastball. Oz right on that, but foul, 0-2.
Roberto had a big-time hack. Rizzo just beat him to the punch. If it goes to Game 5, Tanyan Sturts has been announced for the Charlotte Knights. He was the starter in Game 1 up to game time tonight. Vancouver's was to be announced.
Boz has the only home run of the series for Vancouver. To get under this one, out to right. Matola to his right. That's the second out. Ardois tags. He goes to third. Vancouver has an insurance run 90 feet away with 2 men down.
Good work by Ardois. They're going to appeal at second base, and they say no, he did not leave too soon, so he is safe. Anytime you can advance 90 feet, especially where you can score on a wild pitch, pass ball, infield hit, an error, it's always good. So Danny alertly took third base.
We've had a good number of clutch 2-out base hits in this series. Vancouver had a couple in the bottom of the first inning. An RBI double by Encarnacion, an RBI single by Martins, and a clutch 2-out hit here would give Vancouver a 2-run lead. Jose Ortiz, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That was back in the first. Good pop on that high fastball.
One thing that Vancouver's done pretty well is take advantage of the Charlotte porous defense tonight. Opened up a big can of worms in the first inning. When they couldn't turn a double play, they ended up with 5 runs in the inning.
Ortiz dunks it into right field. Ardois comes in to score. It's a 7-5 lead for Vancouver. Another clutch 2-out hit in this series. This time Jose Ortiz does the honors.
Oh, and a ball that Esteban Beltre should have gotten to start the inning. Once again, Vancouver takes advantage of the bad defense by Charlotte. Good work by Ortiz. Just fights off an inside pitch. So Rizzo got the lefty, but couldn't get the righty, and now he goes back to the lefty, Terrence Long.
Good job by Ortiz. Didn't try to pull it. Terrence Long, lefty against lefty situation. Rizzo misses high and tight with the fastball. Long 1 for 2 on the night. RBI ground out in the first, a single and a walk. 385 in the series. Good pitch by Rizzo.
Yeah, Long sitting on fastball. He was ahead in the count, but got the soft stuff instead.
Long from Montgomery, Alabama. 23 years old, picked up by Oakland in the Kenny Rogers deal with the Mets. Rizzo trying to shut Vancouver down here in the 6th. Long gets around on the fastball late, 2-2. Rizzo, another Charlotte pitcher that has spent some time at the major league level with the White Sox. A lot of experience in that Charlotte bullpen.
Here we go, time. Strike him out.
Fastball on the inside corner. Long knew it. Strike 3 call. That ends the home half of the 6th. Vancouver gets another insurance run, and we will go to the 7th. Welcome back to Cashman Field in Las Vegas, Nevada. Top of the 7th, 7-5 Vancouver. And if the Canadiens hang on to win, we will have Game 5 of the AAA World Series tomorrow night, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Vancouver and Charlotte duke it out in the series finale to decide the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series Championship. Game 5, if necessary, tomorrow, 12:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. If the series should end tonight, should the Knights come back to win, catch our World Series recap show, 2 a.m. Eastern time on the Deuce tomorrow night. Tilson Brito leads off the top of the 7th. He'll be followed by David Toth and Esteban Beltre against Luis Vizcaíno. Brito, a long home run to left his last trip. Brito having a 2-for-3 night. One of 6 different Charlotte Knights to homer in this series. Conversely, Vancouver has just one long ball, Roberto Vaz.
Well, the Knights defense has let them down tonight, and you got to give Vancouver credit. Whenever they've had a little bit of an opening, they've taken advantage of it. Bert Snow throwing in the bullpen. We've seen him twice in the series.
Vizcaíno has set down 4 in a row. How do you like him tonight?
Very impressed. He's been going after the hitters. Got the biggest out of the game in the 5th inning. Jeff Abbott up, 5-5 tie again, being a little redundant, but with Charlotte's bullpen, the way that Tom Spencer can maneuver, you give them a 3 or 4 run lead after 5, and they're going to be a lot of trouble.
Full count to Brito. In the first 3 games of this series, the winning team has come from behind to win. Charlotte Knights trying to do that again this evening. Brito high and deep to left, and this one is gone. Out of Cashman Field for the 2nd straight at bat for Tilson Brito, and again, it's a 1-run game.
Well, the Knights are supplying the firepower. They have hit 3 home runs in the game, but they're still trailing. So Tilson Brito jumping on a 3-2 pitch, and that was a great at-bat. I mean, he was up there, 2 balls, no strikes, was trying to get aboard, took 3 and 1, doing anything just to get the tying run to the plate, 3 and 2. He whacked it off into the night.
7th home run in 4 games in this AAA World Series for the Charlotte Knights. Mike Waddy doesn't waste any time.
Bert Snow is on his way in.
Tilson Brito on his way out moments ago here at Cashman Field. A 7-6 game. Charlotte trying to come from behind to win again here at the AAA World Series. 7-6, top of the 7th. And once again, Dave, on to pitch for Vancouver, Bert Snow.
Like this kid's makeup, he is not overpowering, but he goes after hitters. Pretty good breaking ball, sinking fastball. Just got kind of that cocky demeanor on the mound that a relief pitcher needs.
Throws hard. David Toth swings hard, straightaway center field, but you need a cannon to get it out to center, along with the grab, 1 away.
You know, it's a driver and a wedge, and even then you may hit it against the wall. Out in Death Valley in center field. 433 straightaway center.
The outfield fence 20 feet high all the way around here at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. 328 down the lines, 364 to the power alleys, 433 to dead center. Esteban Beltre, a 2-for-3 night. Pass Snow. Has spotted to his right, lost the handle. Beltre's aboard. He represents the tying run. Charlotte will have an extra out here in the top of the 7th.
Another clean hit for the Charlotte Knights. Okay.
That's the 13th hit for Charlotte tonight. That team batting average, .290.
You know, one thing, the official scorer was never a pitcher. Either that or he had a lifetime ERA of 100 and wants everybody else to catch up with him.
The Knights came into the postseason after hitting .290 in the International League this season, and that average continues to creep upward as this series continues. Simons flares a foul off the end of his bat. Let's go downstairs to John Sandler.
Thank you very much, Ted. With Tilson Brito. Tilson, 2 home runs tonight. Was it the same pitch each time?
Oh, no. The first one, I hit a slider, and the second one, fastball.
Well, he hit them both a long way. You like hitting here at Cashman Field?
Oh, I like it, but I just try to make a contact. I don't try to hit home run, but if it's going, it's good for the team.
All righty, you did a good job helping your team come back. This team's done a great job of coming back all year long. Can they come back tonight?
Well, I hope. I mean, we come back. We just tried the best we came tonight. So I'm waiting for the championship tonight.
He's waiting for the championship. Not much longer if they can come back. Back upstairs.
John, thanks. Tilson Brito doing his part as the Knights try to post another come-from-behind win in this best-of-5 series. 2 home runs for young Mr. Brito this evening.
Yeah, no doubters, too. He crushed them both.
Against 2 different pitchers, no fluke. Strike call in the outside corner. Simons didn't like that call from the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons of the International League.
He at bat right here because the 2 hitters for the Knights that appear to be vapor locked in are Dave Hollins on deck and Tilson Brito now. So if Simons can keep the inning alive, Hollins has a chance to do some damage.
Runner at first is Beltre. He represents the tying run. Beltre on the move. Base hit from Mitch Simons, his 3rd of the night. Beltre to 3rd. Tying run 90 feet away.
Well, Mitch seems to get him in clusters because in a 10-9 loss to Scranton Wilkes-Barre in the first round of the playoffs, he had 6 hits in that game. He's been very quiet coming in, but he takes this slider the other way. You saw the head right down on the ball, driving it to the opposite field. Good work by Encarnacion, but good base running by Beltre as well. So Hollins, who had a homer the first time up, and they've been very careful with him since then. He's walked 3 times.
That home run to right field crushed by Dave Hollins back in the 1st inning. A 2-run blast. Runners at the corners, 1 down for Hollins. Skips away from Ardois back to the backstop. Beltre scores, and we're tied 7-7. Simons down to 2nd on the wild pitch.
I don't know how that ball missed Hollins, to tell you the truth. Pete Rickard's going to go out and talk to Snow now. They have an open base with Jeff Abbott on deck. How did Hollins get out of the way of this? Whew, just barely. And Danny Ardois tried to smother it, but couldn't do it. So Bert Snow's had a little trouble here in the top of the 7th inning as the Knights have gotten even again. This game has been seesaw back and forth since the first. Charlotte drew first blood, 2-run homer by Hollins. Vancouver right back with 5 in the bottom of the 1st. And Charlotte caught up in the 5th, only to see Vancouver go up 7-5. And now they've come back with a 2 spot here in the top of the 7th. I guess only in Las Vegas could you have it 7-7 in the 7th.
Lucky 7s here at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Unlucky for the Vancouver Canadiens. They have got to win this ball game to force a Game 5 tomorrow night.
Well, let's see what the Vancouver club decided to do with Hollins. It could have been Rickard saying, let's not give in to this guy. Make him hit your pitch. If you walk him, we've still got the double play set up with Abbott coming next.
1-0 to Hollins. Fastball inside and low. 2-0.
Dave Hollins has seen about 1 strike since that home run, and that was a borderline low and away fastball in the 2nd at bat.
Hitting .353 in the postseason for Charlotte with 4 homers and 9 ribbies. 3-0.
See if Ardois looks in, and so far no sign for the intentional walk, and looks like they're going to do it now, so they will. So that was it. Rickard just basically said, Bert, you know, make this guy hits your pitch, something down, and they get to 3-0, and they just walk him to get to Jeff Abbott.
The 4th time tonight Dave Hollins has walked. Downstairs to John Sandler with the Charlotte Knight.
Thank you, Ted. Esteban Beltre, our guest. Esteban, you scored that tying run on the wild pitch after you had a little trouble coming up with the ground ball. Had to feel good. Your team's coming back again.
Yeah, you know, it's a real good feeling right now, you know, because in this game, you never give up, you know, you never know. And about the ground ball, hey, man, it's nothing personal. I don't want nobody to get mad. This field is the worst infield I never played in my life. You know, it's a fast, it's a hard, it's a lot of hole up there. You really have to be concentrated to feel the ball there.
All right, that's the story. A tough infield, but Beltre doing a great job on the bases, scoring the tying run. Back upstairs.
John, thanks. What do you think? Tough infield here at Cashman Field.
It's a tough infield. You know, again, it's just a product of the hot temperatures here in the summer, and I've seen this field when teams come here in spring training in March, April, early June. It's a beautiful infield, but 115 degrees baking that clay out, it's really tough to keep it, you know, decently soft.
0-2 on the way to Abbott. He lays off the waste pitch away.
Sunflower seeds. Let's see, we're making a happy face.
Go get it, Joe!
Sunflower seed shells might cause a bad hop or two.
See if Abbott makes an adjustment here. He's been pulling off a little bit. Let's see if he can go to right field.
They tried.
Well, that's his game. I mean, you know, I think maybe the home run he hit last night, sometimes you get out of what you do best, and that's hit the ball straight away. The first two pitches of Snow through, Abbott ripped foul down the third base side. He's not that type of hitter. Pitch he's going to pull is going to be the breaking ball. The fastball he hits to right field.
1-2 in on the hands. Ball chasing along with Ardois in the seats. A couple of rows deep.
Well, good hustle by Ball and Ardois, though. Okay, these guys, chance to win a championship, chance to get championship rings. Guys are playing hard.
Absolutely, they care. They want to win. It's AAA World Series. The New Orleans Zephyrs defeated the Buffalo Bisons last year here at Cashman Field in 4 games. Charlotte Knights trying to do the same thing here in 1999. They've pulled even to make it a 7-7 tie. They lead the series 2-1. Abbott goes down swinging, 2 away.
Well, so far, the strategy of pitching around Hollins is okay, and Luis Raven stepping up really has not been swinging very well. Got a fastball in his hands. Good location by Bert Snow.
First strikeout for Snow. Luis Raven 0 for 4. He's flown out 3 times and struck out swinging.
Yeah, he's been really pulling off the slider badly tonight. See if he can make an adjustment.
As you said earlier, Dave, he's been pulling his head off the ball. Trying to pull everything. Case in point.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, it's, you know, Gary Ward, the batting coach, I'm sure has made Luis very aware of it, but it's one thing to tell somebody something, and then it's another thing to make that adjustment. Sometimes you're just doing a little something mechanically wrong at the plate, causes your head to move, and you don't see the ball very well.
Snow can't make a mistake, though. Raven drives it deep to right field. Encarnacion on the run, makes the play on the track. That ends the top of the 7th inning. Sevens are wild in Las Vegas. 7-7, 7th inning stretch. Nearing 2:30 a.m. in the East, that means a triple header of college football here on the Deuce is just minutes away. Starting at noon, 11th-ranked Purdue meets Northwestern in the Big Ten. 6 Eastern, 13th-ranked Hurricanes of Miami battle East Carolina. And we wrap up today at 9 Eastern time. The 19th-ranked BYU Cougars face the Virginia Cavaliers. College football tomorrow on ESPN2 or today in the Eastern Central time zones. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. 7-7, bottom of the 7th. Game 4 of this AAA World Series. If Vancouver wins, we have a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night. Jeff Ball facing lefty Todd Rizzo.
First time we've seen the effects of Jason Sakota not being able to get out of the first inning because they had to go with one of the right-handers, Mike Heathcott, and then they used another, Derek Hasselhoff. They only have 2 left, and Bradford threw a lot of pitches last night, so they do have Andujar warming up in the bullpen, but with 3 right-handed batters here, Tom Spencer would have liked to use the right-handed pitcher.
Strike on the outside corner of the ball. 1-1. There's Luis, another native of Bani in the Dominican Republic.
Convention. They could have a convention here. There's about 3 or 4 of them on the 2 teams.
Bani from the DR. Good pitch by Rizzo. Rizzo could make it at the next level, I think, with his fastball and his elusive breaking stuff.
Well, he's been there. I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, left-handers that can throw strikes and get guys out can have long careers. Just ask Jesse Orozco.
Tony Fossis stuck around for a while. Good fastball. Ball goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Todd Rizzo.
This one's going to be a fight to the finish. Vancouver's got the hammer. They do get last at bats, and in high-scoring games like this, that usually is a determining factor.
The home teams have been alternating in this best-of-5 series, which would mean Charlotte would be the home team for Game 5.
Home teams won the previous 3 so far.
Adam Pyatt playing despite a sore right knee. Hyperextended that knee earlier this month and missed the entire PCL Championship Series. Swinging strikeout, fly ball to left, and a walk tonight. Popped up. Mitch Simons with the call and the catch. 2 away.
Right fielder, number 10, Mario.
Take a look at the swing of Adam Pyatt. Not much of a stride at all, but Rizzo got that ball in on his hands. Short stride, not a bad idea. Jeff Bagwell of Houston actually takes a backward stride. He's the only guy I've ever seen that does that. He's wide, and then he comes back as he's getting ready to hit.
Adam Pyatt, Triple Crown winner in the Texas League at AA Midland this year, the league MVP before his bump up to AAA Vancouver.
Encarnacion's had a nice night. RBI double, RBI single, and he ran down that ball of Luis Rabin to end the inning. Thought for a minute that ball might get into the corner for a double, but Encarnacion just outran it.
A 2-for-3 night, a couple of runs batted in, a run scored. Single and double for Mario. Couldn't hold the swing back according to the first base ump, Fred Cannon from the PCL. It's 1-1.
Umpires have had an excellent series, and remember, when the major leagues signed 25 umpires, almost every one of them came out of AAA, so the PCL and the International League lost 25 umpires.
Slider misses, 2-1 to Encarnacion. 7-7 in the 7th. That last pitch, 77 miles an hour.
Yeah, we're on the number right now. Encarnacion, he's got a little bit of power here. Eric Martin's behind, not as much. I don't think Rizzo can just give in and throw a fat fastball here. Got some giddy up on that one.
Tough pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Rizzo can bring it. Oakland High on Encarnacion. They consider him a 5-tool player. Dave Hollins, the veteran, plays the high hop. He flings the first. Strong throw to get Encarnacion. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th. Tilson Guido has a chance to hit 3 home runs tonight.
ESPN's presentation of the AAA World Series is brought to you by Las Vegas, home to some of the world's most prestigious events, and proud to sponsor the Las Vegas AAA World Series. By the Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES, a proud sponsor of AAA Baseball and the Las Vegas AAA World Series. And by Circuit City. Answers in every department, low prices all over the store.
Through 7-7-7. We go to the 8th at Cashman Field in Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 4 of this best-of-5 AAA World Series. If Charlotte wins, the series is over. Knights will win it 3-1. Vancouver must win to force a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night. So it has become a 2-inning game with the future of the AAA World Series on the line.
At least the immediate future.
Yes.
Tomorrow or not tomorrow, that is the question.
Leifer takes ball 1 low and away. Bert Snow still going strong for Vancouver. Leifer 0 for 4. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. A couple of ground outs and a fly ball to left.
Well, Leifer right here has got to be very disciplined. I'm sure that Tom Spencer has given him a green light, but he's got to look for a pitch in a particular zone and go to ripping if it's there. Now you take leadoff man in the inning. You got to take, even though you got home run potential.
See if Snow takes advantage and fires strike 1. Nope. Walked him on 4 pitches. Go ahead run aboard. Top of the 8th.
Andahar continues to throw in the Charlotte bullpen, so it looks like he will come on to start the bottom of the 8th inning. And Mike Quaddy, the manager, nobody warming in the bullpen right now, so he's just going to come out and probably talk a little strategy here.
Vancouver's odds 2-1.
Be interesting to see what Tom Spencer does here. He's got the hot hitter Brito on deck, but I think he also knows that if he were to bunt with Mottola, they would walk Brito in a heartbeat to get to David Toth. He's getting the left-hander and the right-hander up because Tom Spencer still has 1 bullet from the left side, Mario Valdez, who had 26 home runs this year. I think I let Mottola hit here.
1 for 4. I doubt you'll see Mottola try to drop one down. He squares. He drops one down foul.
Yeah, I mean, the point here is Mottola is not a guy who, during the course of the season, has probably been asked to lay down any bunts. We can check the stats, but I don't think you ask a guy to do something that he normally doesn't do. That was a pretty weak effort trying to bunt. And again, with him bunting, you're going to lose Brito.
When I said earlier, Vancouver's odds 2-1, that leadoff man scores about half the time when he reaches base, and Leifer is on with the leadoff walk here in the 8th inning of a 7-7 tie. See if Mottola squares 0-1. Fastball inside.
I think after Spencer saw that first attempt, he went, nah, I don't think that's probably a good idea.
Mottola can hit. He raked in the IL. 7th in the league in batting, 321. 5th in base hits, 164. He was consistent all season long.
Leifer doesn't have very good speed at first base, and Mottola will swing and miss. Don't know that you'd really play hit and run here with that gun that Danny Artois has.
Good breaking ball by Snow. 1-2 to Mottola.
Yeah, that's a ball Chad should have hit, though. That was up in the zone, and he just missed it. Baez kind of the guy right there if they bring in Valdez to pinch hit. That would be his guy.
Closer Anthony Chavez, the right-hander. Mottola gets a piece of the fastball to stay alive. 1-2. Right-hander Bert Snow. We've seen him a few times in this series. Mike Quaddy and pitching coach Pete Rickert look on from the Vancouver dugout. Good fastball away. Mottola goes down swinging. 1 gone in the 8th.
Yeah, that was a good pitch by Bert Snow. He had 1 pitch to hit. It was a breaking ball up in the zone. He missed that, and Snow put him away.
Second strikeout for Snow. Tom Spencer, Charlotte skipper, matching wits with Mike Quaddy in the Vancouver dugout. Tilson Brito is homered his last 2 trips. And Snow works him away.
Tilson checking with Tom Spencer to see if anything might be on. Probably got to let this guy just take a crack at it.
That one looked to be a little bit off the corner.
Yeah, but that was a good breaking ball from Snow, as opposed to the bad one that he got up to Mottola, but Chad missed it. At least it was going down and away.
Tilson Brito trying to pull a Reggie Jackson tonight. 3 home runs in a World Series game. 3 consecutive at-bats. Against 3 different pitchers. Foul back by Brito, 1-2.
Tilson had a pretty good hack at it. Snow stayed out of the power zone, went away, and Brito was trying to ram it up the alley in right center. Confident hitter right now. You hit a couple of bombs, you feel pretty good at the plate.
Game 4 of last year's AAA World Series, Lance Berkman from New Orleans hit 3 home runs as the Zephyrs defeated the Buffalo Bisons 3-1. Brito trying to pull an encore tonight in Las Vegas. He's in the hole, 1-2. Snow trying to punch him out. Brito spoils the pitch off the outside corner, 1-2.
Good pitch by Bert Snow, though. After walking the leadoff hitter, he's come back and made some pretty good pitches in the inning.
Lefty-righty combo continues to get loose in the Vancouver pen. Righty hitting catcher David Toth on deck. Brito right on the fastball. He fouled it back.
Yeah, I mean, just supposing, let's just fast forward after Brito's at bat, either he gets on base or makes an out, stays out of a double play. Tom Spencer could bring in Valdez to pinch hit, but he knows that would bring in the left-hander Baez, and Spencer could go back to Eric Christopherson, who's his other catcher.
Brito hanging tough.
Well, Tilson had a pitch right there. So Snow's made good pitches and gotten away with a couple. That one was up in the zone. Watch the location, high slider, and Tilson's head was right down on it. He just didn't connect.
The 1-2. Brito got under it. Hyatt backs up at third. He'll give way to Ortiz. 2 down.
Well, Snow won that battle against a hot hitter. Brito was kind of talking to Ardoise, the catcher, as he was trotting down to first base.
Number 28.
David Toth will hit. A 2-for-4 night. A couple of singles, run scored, a steal. He's also struck out swinging and flown to center.
Well, the lead walk so far has not hurt Snow.
He's got a 50-50 shot to escape unscathed. Popped up down the line. Tough chance. Ball chasing, racing. He won't get there in time. Toth and Eric Christopherson splitting time behind the plate for Charlotte in this series. Snow trying to get his 6th out. He came in the 7th after Brito's leadoff home run against Luis Vizcaíno. Fastball ripped to right field. Encarnacion chasing it down. Leeper will take the extra base. First to third on the single by David Toth. Charlotte has men at the corners, 2 down for Esteban Beltre.
And then those who were out there saying, you know, if they would have had Mottola bunt, the Knights would have the lead. Well, I absolutely agree with Tom Spencer, though. First of all, it was no guarantee that Mottola was going to get the bunt down. You would have lost Brito, who was swinging the bat as well as anybody going, because they would have put him on base. So we are going to have a pitching change. Anthony Chavez comes in.
Mike Quade goes for the fresh arm. Another right-hander comes in to face Esteban Beltre, scheduled to hit when we come back. 7-7 ball game, top of the 8th inning here in Las Vegas. Charlotte is threatening to take the lead. A new pitcher on to work for Vancouver, Dave, Anthony Chavez.
We've seen him in the series. He's their closer. He is a split finger forkball specialist, not overpowering, tries to get the ball on the ground. Tom Spencer had the option here of using Mario Valdez, but he elects to stay with Beltre, who has 3 hits tonight.
A triple and a couple of singles. Couple of runs scored, a ribby. Breaking ball on the outside corner.
Kind of snuck up with a bat to 455 has Esteban Beltre in the series.
Fastball inside. During the regular season, Chavez with Vancouver, 4-6, a 3.91 ERA, 14 saves. In 54 relief appearances, did not make a start, 69 innings, 67 hits, 72 strikeouts. High and tight with the fastball, 2-1.
Charlotte has had a guy at third base and second base on 3 different occasions tonight, and while they've put 7 up, they've stranded a lot. They've got another guy down there with 2 outs.
They've left 12 men on through 7.
In the process, they've set a AAA World Series record for hits with 15.
Beltre to the second baseman, Espada. He flings to first, and Chavez gets the job done in the top of the 8th inning. The Charlotte Knights have left 14 men on base. Bottom of the 8th on the way. Welcome back to Cashman Field in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's getting late for that little guy. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-7 ball game. Tilson Brito, a couple of jacks for the Knights. The bullpen has been busy. 14 men left on for Charlotte. For Vancouver, Mario Encarnacion, a big night. The pen busy for the Canadiens as well. Vancouver has left only 6 men on.
Well, generally when you strand 14, doesn't bode very well for you, especially if you're the visiting team. They've been 1 hit away from breaking the game open all night, but you got to give the Vancouver pitchers credit for getting outs in key situations.
Luis Andujar, fastball slider pitcher, has Major League time with the White Sox and Blue Jays. Eric Martins leads off the bottom of the 8th inning. Ribby single in the first. Since then, a ground ball to short, a ground ball to third. Chokes up on that bat. Andujar quickly behind, 2-0.
Well, Vancouver got away with walking the leadoff man in the 8th, but barely.
Martins fouls the 2-0 straight back, 2-1.
Martins out of California. He is a minor league veteran, utility type player. Knocked in the 5th run in the first inning for Vancouver.
Martins hits it high out to left field. Could be trouble, and it's off the wall. Brito leaps, can't make the grab. Martins pretty good wheels. Out to second. Leadoff double for Eric Martins. Bottom of the 8th inning. He represents the go-ahead run. Nobody out for Vancouver in a 7-7 tie.
Well, again, Mike Quade pushing the right buttons tonight. He inserted Encarnacion and Martins in the lineup, and they've been productive on the offensive end. Brito ran out of real estate at the base of the wall, tried to make the grab, hit about 2 feet above the glove. More than likely, Ardois up there to bunt, and the Charlotte Knights discussing how they're going to defense it.
You're pretty sure that Ardois will drop one down here.
Yeah, I think you got to bunt the guy to third base. Give Espada and Roberto Vaz a chance to get him in.
Fly ball gets the man home from third with 1 out. Collins in on the grass at third. Ardois squares, lays it down up the third base line. It rolls. Fair foul. Fair ball on the line. Home plate umpire Tim Timmons on the call. And the Vancouver Canadiens get a break. Martins to third. Ardois is on. Bunt single, a cue shot up the third base line.
Yeah, a great bunt by Ardois. Caught a break. It hit on the chalk. Andujar didn't have any other choice but to let it go. Sometimes in a city where luck rules, watch this thing. It's going to curve, curve, curve. Andujar thinks it's going to go foul, hits the chalk, and stops. On the chalk. So Tom Spencer out to discuss things with his infield and Luis Andujar right now. And Joey Espada, Roberto Vaz after him, and Ortiz will try to push a run in to get their club ahead.
Andujar in a big-time jam. Home half of the eighth. Nobody out. And at the corners, game on the line. Vancouver needs a win to force a Game 5 tomorrow night. Charlotte, with a win this evening, clinches the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series title. They lead this best-of-5, 2-1. Vancouver in great shape, though, to take the lead here in the home half of the eighth.
Brian Ward up in the pen as Roberto Vaz is next. Infield going to play in and try to cut the run down at the plate.
No surprise there.
Well, they're actually moving back a little bit now.
Espada 1 for 2 officially. Single and a run, a walk, and a sacrifice bunt. Fastball inside corner, strike one. Just 2 hits in the series for Espada, but he has scored 4 runs. Collins in at third. Just off the outside corner.
Well, Andujar's job here is either get a strikeout, ground ball, or a pop-up in the infield. You don't want the ball leaving the infield.
Infield cheats in all the way around. Collins in on the grass.
Looks to me like what Beltre and Simons are doing, they're playing in far enough that if the runner at third, Martins, makes a break for the plate, they can go there and cut him down. But if he hesitates, then they're going to look him back to third and still try to turn a double play. They're not totally committed to being in.
Andujar would love to strike out Espada. Joey with a little loop base hit. Martins comes across with the go-ahead run. Joey Espada with the little blooper makes it 8-7 Vancouver in the bottom of the eighth.
Well, that's the way Espada began the game. Vancouver was down 2-0. He had an 0-2 count against him and blooped a single to center that led to a 5-run inning. The infield playing in. Joey just trying to make contact. He had a very tough pitch, but you can see we're right out in no man's land.
A lot of love in that Vancouver dugout, just like the truck outside. Tim Sullivan, Bobby Grossman, and the boys. We feel the love in Las Vegas tonight. Roberto Vaz at the plate. Hollins Wayne at third. Vaz squares. He pops it foul. Good grab made by a fan, first row.
Trotter trying to play for a couple of more runs here. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for Charlotte. It's the top of the order. Simons, Hollins, and Abbott.
Vaz trying to bunt 2 men along. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th. The 0-1. Vaz tipped it into the mid of the catcher toe. 0-2.
Story in this one, Charlotte didn't take advantage of their offensive chances tonight, and Vancouver obviously did a much better job. They didn't always hit it hard, but they hit it in the right place.
The 0-2 to Vaz. Just off the outside corner. Baz singled, stole second, and scored back in the first. Since then, a swinging strikeout, a ground ball to first, a fly ball to right. Hit into the mitt, fastball tailing away. One gone, home half of the 8th inning.
Real big out for Andujar. No advance of the base runners. Now Ortiz steps in. Andujar can get Ortiz, and we probably will see Ward to pitch to Terrence Long. Baz had a breaking ball up, tried to take it the other way. Just foul-ticked it into the glove of David Toth.
High inside to Ortiz. Did he single his last trip? That was in the 6th. He's also walked and scored, grounded to short, and struck out swinging. Let's check in with John Sandler down in the Vancouver dugout. John.
Martin's our guest. Eric, a big double off the wall, score the go-ahead run, potential game winner. Big blow for your team. Tell me about the pitch.
Well, he fell behind 2-0 and threw a fastball right down the middle, which I fouled back. And the next pitch, he threw me a split, and it was just right down and in, and I hit it right off the wall, and I'm glad we got us ahead.
You played in this ballpark before. You know the ball can bounce back off that wall quite a ways. Any thoughts about going to third?
Well, I looked off the wall, and it looked like it was coming off pretty hard, but he got to it quick, so I was just going to stay at second, let Danny butt me over. So I'm glad we scored on the group on that.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Back upstairs.
John, thanks. Ortiz foul tips that pitch into the mid of Toth. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andujar. Couldn't have come at a better time, Dave.
Yeah, maybe too little too late, but at least the Charlotte Knights are trying to keep it close. We'll have yet another pitching change. Andujar, good fastball on the outside corner. And Brian Ward, the left-hander, will come in to pitch to Terrence Long.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Vancouver up a run, trying to force a Game 5 tomorrow night. Welcome back to Cashman Field in Las Vegas. It is starting to look like we may have a Game 5. Tune in tomorrow night, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, for Game 5 if necessary. That's if the Charlotte Knights can't come back tonight. Vancouver and Charlotte duking it out for the 1999 AAA World Series title. Game 5 if necessary tomorrow, 12:30 a.m. Eastern on the Deuce. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. If the series ends tonight, catch the World Series recap show at 2 a.m. Eastern on the Deuce tomorrow night. Lefty Brian Ward on to pitch for the Charlotte Knights.
Third time we've seen him in the series. He's in there to get the lefty Terrence Long.
1-0.
Not a lot of right-handed answers left, though. If Long reaches, then Jeff Ball is going to hit against the lefty because all they have left is Chad Bradford.
Long 1 for 3 this evening. Slider misses. 2-0. Long has singled, walked, and knocked in a run with an RBI ground out. That was in the 5-run first inning for Vancouver. Long has knocked in 5 runs in the series. Ripped past Simons, a base hit. Ardois coming around. He scores. Has spotted a third RBI single for Terrence Long. It's a 9-7 game.
Here you get behind 2-0 and throw a fastball on a fastball count. The hitter did his job. He hit a rocket. Simons gave it a great effort, but just out of his reach. So Terrence Long, a good-looking young hitter, he pounded that ball to center.
Game 5 is starting to look necessary for tomorrow night. Vancouver, 3 outs away from victory here in Game 4. That ball was ripped.
Yeah, he hit the tar out of that ball. And again, I mean, we're redundant. But when you've been here 3.5 hours, you're going to be redundant. Vancouver getting the clutch 2-out hit. Charlotte has not been all night long.
Ball, a bouncer to short. Esteban Beltre to Mitch Simons. That ends the home half of the 8th. Vancouver snaps the tie with 2. We'll go to the 9th. We'll see Dave Hollins at the plate, top of the 9th inning. Our lovely accommodations here in Las Vegas this week, Caesars Palace, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. The line score tonight, if you're keeping score at home, as we go to the top of the 9th inning, 2 big runs, home half of the 8th for the Vancouver Canadiens, a 9-7 lead. They are 3 outs away from forcing a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night. Anthony Chavez trying to save it for himself. He is the pitcher of record on the winning side.
Well, Chavez came in and got a big out in the 8th inning. By the way, just special thanks to Phil Cooper, Judy Turner, the staff, great hosts at Caesars. Can't get away without thanking them.
Mitch Simons, Dave Hollins, and Jeff Abbott, 3 veterans, top of the 9th inning. Simons, a good night. He had 1 hit coming into tonight. He has 3 singles this evening. Also a sacrifice fly for a ribby. Run scored. Chavez high with ball 1.
I guess in Vegas we'd have to say that Vancouver needs to get 3 the hard way.
Or 2, just to stay alive. 2-0 to Simons. You never want to walk that leadoff man.
Well, they got away with it last inning, but don't play with fire too often.
Playing with house money after escaping in the 8th. 3-0 to Mitch Simons. The Knights have been coming from behind to win virtually all season long, and they have the guns, they have the sticks in the order to do it.
Well, this is where Mitch Simon needs to take 2 pitches. Home run doesn't do you any good. You need to get a guy on base. 3-0, obviously he'll be taking, but I think he needs to take 3-1 as well.
I would agree with that. Moot point, though. He walks on 4 pitches. Tying run to the plate. Dave Hollins.
Not too much left in that Vancouver bullpen. The left-hander Benito Baez, and he would be down to probably Jeff Leifer, the number 5 hitter in the lineup, before we would see him. There is a right-hander, Tim Manwiller. We have not seen him in the series.
Hollins with a 2-run home run to right, top of the 1st inning. Since then, he's walked 4 times. John Sandler, patrolling the field earlier in the game, mentioned to us that Chavez had been battling a tired arm. He's going to have to gut it out here in the top of the 9th inning and try to get 3 outs.
Yeah, about 1 more pitch out of the zone, and we're going to see Pete Rickett, the pitching coach, coming out for a little conversation.
This is Vancouver's season. Chavez trying to protect the 2-run lead. Hollins whacks a foul, first base side, 1-1.
Well, Charlotte's got the hitters they want coming up. Got the tying run at the plate. Abbott, Raven, Leifer, Matola. So Chavez will have his work cut out for him. There's no gimme here in the 9th.
Hollins could tie this game with 1 swing, of course. Former Major League slugger with the Phillies. Out to straightaway center field. Long comes in and grabs it. 1 away, top of the 9th. Vancouver needs 2 more outs.
Hollins hit it right on the button, but at the wrong spot, right at Terrence Long in center. Mike Quaddy saying, get me 2 more, get me 2 more outs. We're assuming Mark Mulder would pitch Game 5, but because it hasn't been announced, maybe there's something we don't know.
Potentially a rematch of the Game 1 starters. Tanyan Sturts confirmed for Charlotte. Jeff Abbott, 1 for 4, a single and a walk. 2 swinging strikeouts and a ground ball to 3rd. Chavez just missed.
We're told from the Vancouver dugout it will be Mulder tomorrow, so Game 5 would be a reprise of Game 1 with the starting pitchers.
Abbott chased a pitch out of the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, Abbott went from being totally locked in tonight to looking like he is a little confused, and that sometimes a home run can do more damage than it helps. He hit the home run last night, and it looks like he's gotten a little pull happy all of a sudden, trying to hit another one.
Just off the outside corner, 2-1 to Abbott.
Abbott's game of the alleys, left center and right center. That's what he's got to focus on here. Make a mistake with a breaking ball, then you can pull that over the fence.
He's knocked in 15 runs in the postseason. Another swing at a questionable pitch, 2-2.
Not picking up the rotation on that split finger pitch. Got to get back in there and bear down.
Abbott knocked in 13 runs in the International League's Governor's Cup playoffs, tops among IL batters. Out to left. Vaz squeezes it. 2 away. Vancouver is 1 out away from forcing a Game 5. Luis Raven is overdue tonight. He homered last night. His series average 118. 0 for 5 tonight. He's flown out 4 times and struck out swinging. How do you pitch him here?
We just keep it down and go away from him until he proves he can focus on the ball. I don't leave anything inside because that's where he's bailing.
Chavez against Raven. Raven represents the tying run. Strike called outside corner. Chavez trying to gut it out here in the 9th.
Raven gets on. Leifer will be the hitter, and we assume we'll see Baez.
1-1 to Raven.
Keep the ball outside. You make Raven's job, first of all, if you get it out over the plate. 433 is an absolute bomb to center. And it's tough for a right-handed batter to go to right field with great power.
Ground ball, base hit left field. The third baseman, Pyatt, had been hugging the line to guard against an extra base hit. He's in his normal spot. Maybe he gets to that ball.
Raven will give way to a pinch runner now. Tying run. We'll check and see who comes out. We would guess probably Brandon Moore, and that's who it is, a reserve infielder. Leifer's up, and we're looking to see if Mike Quade is going to make the pitching change, and apparently he's not.
Your attention, please. For Charlotte,
Brandon Moore pinch running at first with Luis Raven, and he represents the tying run with 2 men away, top of the 9th inning. 9-7 Vancouver.
Well, Mike staying with his closer. When he brought in Baez to pitch to Leifer a couple of games ago, Baez struck out Leifer chasing a slider out of the zone.
Leifer 0 for 4 tonight with a walk, his last trip. All 1 away. PCL champions need 1 more out to force a Game 5 tomorrow night. It would be a rematch of the Game 1 starters, Tanyan Sturts for Charlotte, which would be the home team. Mark Mulder for Vancouver. 2-0 to Leifer.
Leifer's approach right here is he's got to zone up. Chavez trying to get him to chase down. He's got to look for a pitch up in the zone.
Open stance left side. Past the mound, out toward short. Ortiz to first in time. The Canadiens hold on for a 9-7 win, and they force a Game 5 tomorrow night here at Cashman Field.
Team that got the clutch hits won. Vancouver ended up leaving 16 men on base, and they can only lament what might have been.
16 men left aboard for the Charlotte Knights. They had plenty of chances. The Vancouver Canadiens, champions of the Pacific Coast League, force a decisive Game 5 in the 1999 Las Vegas AAA World Series here at Cashman Field. It'll be a rematch of the Game 1 starting pitchers. For Charlotte, Tanyan Sturts, and for Vancouver, Mark Mulder. The final score, the Vancouver Canadiens hang on for a 9-7 win. This best-of-5 series is tied at 2 wins apiece. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific, for the 5th and final game of the AAA World Series. Stay tuned for NFL Tonight. Coming up next, for Dave Campbell, John Sandler, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ted DeLuca. Good night from Las Vegas, Nevada.